Clippers, Ducks, and Kings.
Day baseball from Wrigley Field. It doesn't get much better than this on a sunny summer afternoon from the north side as we welcome you to Angels Live, presented by Nissan right here on Valley Sports. It's game 2 of 3 from Wrigley. Halos and the Baby Bears. Angels looking to end this losing streak and start streaking back into the win column, much like they were doing at home as the fans make their way into Wrigley Field. And here's what's coming up on the pregame show. We got a packed show today from Wrigley Field. All-star hopeful Tyler Anderson, he gets the ball for game 2 going up against the professor Kyle Hendricks. We'll talk about that. Plus, it's a tradition unlike any other. Yes, the rookies heading over to Starbucks. We'll take a look at a busy morning for the young guys on the Halos roster, plus Hera making his Angels debut yesterday and coming up in the Angels game as well. As we welcome you inside Wrigley Field alongside Mark Gubiza, I'm Erica Weston. Hey, you know, they say this is the friendly confines. It wasn't friendly yesterday. Let's have some friendly fun today in game 2, shall we?
Erica, there is a ton of Angel fans in here, and they want a reason to cheer. And, you know, scoring some runs early to some, more patience at the plate. I think there's going to be a good chance at a W today with Tyler Anderson on the mound.
You know, I know they say that Cubs fans travel really well. They're such a historic brand. I got to say, Gooby, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of Angels red in the seats today.
I mean, how many Angel fans come down and say, let's go, we're having fun? I mean, they love being here at this ballpark, this historic ballpark, but they also want to be able to smile walking back after the game with a W today instead of hearing the Cubs W song.
We do not want to see that flag flying, that W flag flying this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon before the Angels head home. Listen, they went from winning 6 in a row to now dropping 5 in a row, Gooby, and, they've seen flashes of little things that they were doing right. They've unfortunately faced 2 pitchers that were very tough in Justin Steele, going a complete game against them yesterday. Got to find a way to get it right.
Yeah, I mean, the common denominator is 2 complete games. They were both completed in 90 pitches. Joey S. is 92 pitches, and yesterday Steele with 95 pitches. What it comes down to, you just have to be a little more patient. Don't help a pitcher out and swing at a pitcher's pitch. And we're seeing that. I have no problem being aggressive for hitters at the plate, but you also got to be looking for your pitch. If you're going to be doing that damage at first or second pitch, or maybe even the third, you want to have one of those pitches be your one. You can hit hard with the barrel of the bat. So we have not seen that really, Erica, in quite a while.
And Friday afternoon, Justin Steele, first complete game, 9 innings, 1 run, and Gooby, that 9th inning said it all. It was, less than 5 pitches or something like that for him to give CG.
I mean, his fastball was solid, but his slider was his difference maker, and he went to that a lot in those big spots, and then he went right after him with fastballs. You got to love that. That's how important. Everyone says complete games don't mean a whole lot to pitchers. That reaction is all what S is too. It means a lot when you're out there and shaking the catcher's hand, who put down all those good signs to get to that point where you can finish 9 innings.
Well, he hadn't even had a win up until yesterday either, but Ron Washington wanted to go show and go all weekend. They're regrouping considering what happened yesterday. Johnny Washington had the guys hitting early inside, needing to change things up so they can figure out how to win again.
Yeah, sometimes even though you would love to be able to just give that little rest, flying all the way from Oakland back out here in the Midwest and get there late, you still want to see the baseball out of the hand of whether you have a pitcher or in the cages where off a machine. You want to read the rotation of the baseball, to see it, track your eyes in the zone, because you're going to face a guy today who's an artist out there, and Kyle Hendricks, just like Tyler Anderson, so you know exactly what he's going to try to do, so track that part of the plate where you can do the damage.
Similar in a sense, for sure. Credit to the pitchers, Gooby, but unfortunately the Angels are going to be without Luis Rengifo for a while. Could easily be an all-star. Steele dealing with that wrist inflammation. They put him on the injured list yesterday. Still don't officially know anything. Wash said he's going to see a hand specialist when the team gets home, but they're certainly missing his bat in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, the ability to hit the ball all over the field and steal bases, too. I mean, he's a consistent hitter. Everywhere the pitch is thrown, zone, he is hitting the ball hard. He can still drive a ball, turn on a ball. Even when you look back at that game against Oakland, against Mason Miller, that's a 101-mile-an-hour fastball. He was short and threw that going the opposite field, left center in at the Big A. But stealing bases, putting pressure on the defense, this is the guy you always heard about in the minor leagues as far as the ability to steal bases. 22 stolen bases, it cost us 6 times. So a lot of pressure on the defense, especially when they're never able to be comfortable in their position in the infield because he's always on the move.
And he's one of only 2 players in baseball, Gooby, with a batting average over 320 or more stolen bases. The other from your Kansas City Royals and Bobby Witt Jr. Yeah, so he is certainly making an impact in every way.
Yeah, and you can just tell by that swing right there. Hopefully, it's starting to calm down. He said to us the other day, it's starting to feel better.
Sure.
But that being said, you just want to make sure everything is all right before you get back out there and put together a monster season.
They're just trying to wait and see what that imaging tells them. I'm sure we'll know more when the team returns home on Monday. Meanwhile, last night after the game, Logan O'Hoppe spoke about what it means to lose Rengifo to this roster.
Yeah, I mean, that's a kick in the gut for sure. That's a dude we rely on in the lineup, especially days like today where we need a hit to get going. You know, you'd love to have him in there, but it's just one of those things you got to deal with.
He nailed it, the leader of the team, if you will. And speaking of leader, he's also somewhat still a rookie. And there are so many traditions here at Wrigley Field, Gooby. The Starbucks run across the street in full uni. He was one of the participants today.
Yeah, I'm still kind of waiting for my iced venti non-fat latte. I don't think I got it yet. I think it may be on the way up to the booth.
It got lost in delivery.
That is so cool that they're doing that. I mean, I think it's a great tradition where you see, can you imagine if you're a player, you're in a uniform and you're walking and the fans are going, wait a minute, are these guys real? I mean, that's awesome.
That's exactly what they said, too. We're standing on the corner. I went with them, and this woman was saying, is that the real team? Is that the real Angels? It kind of catches you off guard, but if you're a local around the area, I'm sure they've seen players in full uni show up to that Starbucks. But it's not the same as it used to be, Gooby. You used to have to collect everybody's orders on paper, write it down, go across the street, go to the Starbucks, order it. It's all order ahead now, right? This is a generation of order ahead.
Yeah, the app helps out a little bit there. It gets a little bit quicker. Can you imagine they're waiting? Well, I think I'm supposed to get this. I think I'm supposed to get it. You would be there just a little bit longer,
Exactly.
which makes it even more fun for the fans that are going to be there. But the players are like, all right, this is better. This is a lot better. I can be in and out as quick as possible.
I think they only got like a handful of actual drinks and then just one of those to-go cartons of big coffee, making it easy, keeping it easy for the rookies. All right, let's see which one of the rookies, most of them in the Angels lineup this afternoon, game 2 against the Baby Bears. Gooby and Keston Hera in there once again. He's playing second base, DH yesterday in his Halos debut.
I really like a couple of his swings, too. You can see why he had all those numbers down in AAA. He had 12 home runs in just, 19 games. And he's hit 50 home runs in his career. So the guy I'm looking in that lineup there today, I really think Mickey Moniak is going to have a solid performance. The numbers against Kyle Hendricks on his fastball, between his 2-seam and 4-seam, they're hitting 372 with 7 home runs, and Mickey Moniak hits a fastball very well.
I know he's excited to play here. He told me yesterday this was his last ballpark that he had to check off the list. This was 30 of 30, so let's see if he can get into one today. On the flip side, Gooby, the offense for the Cubs, they came alive early yesterday. That got Griffin Canning down early yesterday, but have to keep him inside the ballpark today.
Well, all 5 runs were driven in with 2 outs. So, in other words, you got to be real, your concentration has to be there to finish off an inning and make those good quality pitches. But that's one guy, Ian Happ, in those spots, as hot as he is right now, I would say let somebody beat you behind him. And there's been a couple times where there's been an open base, and he's had struggled all season long versus all speed, but yet both of those hits, those RBI hits, were on changeup. So he's locked in right now. You don't want to allow him to beat you.
Let's see if they can cool him down this afternoon as we take a look at the Cubbies lineup. Nico Horner leads things off, and Seiya Suzuki right in the middle with Ian Happ doing the damage yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, and Suzuki's a guy that likes pitches upstairs, and he hit that home run in the dead center field. Bellinger, who does a pretty good job in his career-wise against Tyler Anderson. So it's a pretty good lineup. I'm really shocked at how much they have struggled to score runs, although they did score 5 yesterday, all with 2 outs.
The 2 outs, that's the killer part, right, for Canning. I'm sure that the guys are making adjustments today, but that's why you got a guy like Tyler Anderson on the mound to be able to put those guys away.
Yeah, when you look at his numbers with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, it's one of the best in the game. So he knows how to pitch. These are 2 really smart professors on the mound here today. So if you want to watch the art of pitching, it's a pretty good pitching matchup today.
The thinking man's pitcher, that's what Wash called Tyler Anderson, and I'm sure Kyle Hendricks is certainly the same on the other side. Stay with us, warming things up from Wrigley Field. Game 2 of 3 from the friendly confines coming your way soon. Coming up next, Keston Hera made his Halos debut yesterday afternoon. Had a conversation with him about that. That's coming your way next.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
Bobby Wood Jr. is an absolute superstar in the making.
I've never seen anything like him.
He's one of the best players in baseball.
Highlight reel play, Bobby Wood Jr.
That's why we call him Bobby Baseball.
He is a generational talent.
I want to win a World Series. I want to do it in Kansas City.
This guy is the cream of the crop right now.
Sensational again.
It is crazy, wiry, athletic pop that's only going to get better.
Sports is brought to you by Nissan. Buckle up for an epic test drive at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event. Keston Hera making his Angels debut in Game 1 of 3 from Wrigley Field yesterday. A place he's very familiar with after time with the Brew Crew. Earlier today, caught up with Keston after his first game, hit and run scored as an Angel.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's been since, 2022, since I've been back in the big leagues, and, I think it's just, trusting God and, believing in myself, and, things will run its course. So I'm excited to be here, excited to be part of this organization, meet everyone here, and the coaching staff, players, front office, and go from there.
Yeah, yesterday was your first hit in the big since 2022 as well, first hit in the ball game. How much of both of those things were on your mind at the moment?
No, I mean, I think, it's something where it's the same game. Nothing's different. Maybe the crowds are bigger, stadiums are bigger, but other than that, it's the same game. I think, playing for the past couple years in AAA, and I think last year I had a pretty good year last year, and I had to battle some injuries that kind of sidelined me a little bit, and but no, still acknowledging, I still had a good year and building off of that and carrying into this year. I started the year with Detroit. Had great time over there, and once kind of like the opt-out kind of area came, and started to feel pretty good at the plate, and just build off that. And when this opportunity came here with the Angels, just carried over.
Yeah, you certainly did. 12 homers and I think 19 games with Salt Lake. What was the key to all of that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, my whole career, it's just timing rhythm. If I can get my timing rhythm down, everything kind of falls into place. And that last week or two of my time with Toledo, I kind of found it and carried that into that, kind of dead period I had, or dead week I had. And then once I signed with the Angels, over in Salt Lake, just kind of brought that over there and rolled with it.
Last one for you. Yesterday was kind of a question mark whether or not Rengifo was going to go on the IL. You were here. Well, how much of a whirlwind was yesterday and then ended up being the DH? Yeah,
I think it's just something you always got to stay ready for. Regardless if you're in the lineup or not in the lineup, you always got to prepare like you're going to play in that game regardless, and be able to
to mentally, be checked in at all times, and obviously physically as well. But no, I mean, I've had many games here in Wrigley, and with day games on the weekends, you understand kind of how to prepare yourself and get ready for that. And I think they gave me the green light maybe an hour before the game, and but at that point, I was already warmed up, stretched out, and ready to go.
True professional, Gooby, and a great local kid. Glad to have him here with the Halos. He was putting it all together at AAA. Let's see what he got with the Halos right now.
And Susan Lucci, yes.
That's right.
Yes. I mean, even his swing yesterday, that first hit, I remember that even when he was at Valencia High School and then going on his way up to Milwaukee, where he put together a very solid career. Talking to Jim DeShays, who does the color analyst for the Cubs, because he talked about him a lot of times in Milwaukee. He thought he was going to be a superstar. Yeah, there's been a little bit of delay. You never know how you develop from this point forward. But when you have a short swing like that, you can do a lot of damage. And hopefully that's going to be the case for him. He ends up scoring his first run as a Halo when, Taylor Ward picked up his 44th RBI of the season. So some positive things with those two together. But I'll tell you, he can swing the bat. He is short and quick through the bat. And with Taylor Ward behind him today, should be able to score some runs.
Yeah, 12 home runs in AAA in 19 games.
I don't care where you're playing the game. When you hit 12 home runs in 19, that's doing some serious damage.
He was PCL Player of the Week. Let's see if he can swing a hot bat here this afternoon against the Cubbies. Stay with us. We've got more as we get you closer to first pitch from the friendly confines. We're going back in the Wayback Machine. Another installment of Gooby's Halo history lesson. That's coming up next.
Pete Alonso, franchise cornerstone, homegrown Met.
That's the guy you want to build your team around.
Pete has turned into such an intelligent hitter.
If you hit it, it goes, that's for sure.
Oh, man, Pete got a hold of one. There's not many guys who can do what he does from an offensive standpoint.
It's out of here, and the Mets win it! Into the second deck!
That ball was tattooed.
Polar Bear's a ribby machine.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home, where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
I've given up on trying to get rid of batting average. There's no beating it.
Brian Kenny's always thinking about baseball, and he's fired up for 2024.
These are the standards by which major leaguers are measured.
Watch the show for the thinking fan, MLB Now, on MLB Network.
Wrigley Field. Angels trying to get back into the win column this afternoon against Hendricks and the Cubs as we get closer to first pitch. A 1:20 start here from Wrigley Field. Time to go back in time. Another installment of Gooby's Halo history lesson. This time, Fred Lynn and Brian Downing. What do you got, Gooby?
Angel fan, you remember Fred Lynn and Brian Downing colliding at the wall. Let's go back in time right now. This is Gooby's Halo history lesson. Allow me to set the stage. It's an AL West pennant chase, September 21st, 1982. The Angels and the Royals are tied atop of the division and beginning a three-game set. Halos take Game 1 3-2 behind an RBI double by Reggie Jackson in the 7th. In Game 2, another pitcher's duel. Top of the 4th, no score. Ken Force facing Amos Otis. Otis sends one deep to left center. Brian Downing and Fred Lynn are on a collision course with this exact wall. They both leap with no regard for their body to make an unbelievable catch. Lynn undercuts Downing as he makes the grab, and Downing ricochets off the wall. Fred Lynn holds up the ball, making one of the most underrated catches in MLB history.
And Downing and Lynn collided at the wall. Downing shaken up, gets to his feet. Lynn makes the catch right at the top of the wall.
Angels went on to win that game 2-1, taking a 2-game lead in the AL West. Don't worry, Downing was in the lineup the next day, and the Angels would go on to win their second division title. But without Lynn's amazing catch, it could have been a completely different story. Fred Lynn and Brian Downing collide at this wall. If you didn't know then, you know now, and that is Gooby's Halo history lesson.
Goopy, if you don't know, now you know. I was going to say I feel bad for the guys colliding. I feel bad for the wall, too.
Yeah, the wall. I mean, Brian Downing, he was the original Superman, and he was so strong. And Fred Lynn, you know, he's seen that one before, and he said that was one of the most fun things. He loves whenever anybody ever replays that play. But to catch that ball, collide with the wall, run into Brian Downing at a moment where you needed that play, that was phenomenal.
A pitcher's best friend. Your two guys going after it at the wall. And speaking of, Tyler Anderson looking to get back in the win column today. Gooby going against the Cubs. He's been very good. 7-8 record. Held opponents to 1 run in 6 of 8 starts this year.
And also has thrown the ball well in his career versus the Cubs. I mean, his changeup is a difference maker, you know, this season, where he's at 38 strikeouts and about 35% whiff percentage with his changeup. He's going to have that working against the Cubs, especially with the winds blown out. It looks like the left field today with all the right-handed batters in the lineup for Chicago. That changeup becomes even more important.
I was going to say, you know exactly what you're going to get out of Tyler Anderson, and he knows how to pitch in this ballpark, too. He's played in this ballpark plenty of times.
And he's fearless out there. He loves to compete. He loves the challenge of be able to get that cutter in on the hands and then fade that changeup down and away against right-handed batters, because they're trying to pull the ball right now, and he's going to use that aggressiveness against them.
Can't wait to see TA back on the mound against the Cubs. Stay with us. We'll hear pregame thoughts from the skipper, Ron Washington. That's next.
This is your captain speaking. We'd like to welcome you on board MLB The Show 24. It's a good one. Where gamers can play as their favorite baseball teams, create custom players, and even relive history with some of baseball's greatest legends. Now, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Can I play? Rated E for everyone.
From the day's first pitch to the night's final out, MLB Network sets the stage for fans every day.
So it'll be interesting to watch what happens here
all season long. See the players who are making a statement.
Hey, let's check out the board, folks.
With live games every week.
Inside the park we go.
Cutting-edge baseball chatter. Plus highlights, analysis, and live look-ins on MLB Tonight. MLB Network. The game is the star. Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
Valley Sports is brought to you by Nissan. Buckle up for an epic test drive at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event. Another beautiful afternoon in Chicago for some day baseball from Wrigley Field, and a special day today as Kevin Pillar officially celebrates 10 years of service time. The Angels having a ceremony before the game today, decorating his locker, acknowledging this rare feat for a Major League Baseball player. 10 years of service time. Congratulations to Kevin Pillar. And earlier today, Ron Washington spoke about the recognition.
Well, you know, Perry just brought his career full circle, and then he stood up and did exactly what everyone expected out of him, class act, and just made sure that everybody in there, especially the young guys, understand that you never know where your career is going to go and where it's going to end. So during the time you have a career, cherish it and do everything you can to get the best out of it. No, it was a class act, and he gave a great speech.
10-year service time is so rare. I think less than 5% in baseball. with such a young group, how meaningful is it for them to be front and center for this?
Well, it was very meaningful, especially as being Kevin Pillar. Because like I said, his presence here has been more to us than his performance. And his performance has been pretty good. But just his presence have made a big difference. And with us having a young club, they need to understand how he got where he is and the struggles it took to get where he is, that this game is not always glamorous. And I can remember when I was trying to get my 10, and now I'm at 54. So time flies, you know, and that's one of the things he said. So cherish every opportunity you have and deal with adversity. Deal with adversity. And one day they'll find themselves with 10 years. It's not easy to get 10 years at the major league level. In the past, it used to be 20. So just think about that. If you had to try to get 20, now you just got to get 10.
I saw the meeting with Dansby and Neto earlier. You were there as well. How'd it go?
It went extremely well. Matter of fact, they knew each other, and they played together somewhere down the line in their career growing up. And, you know, I told Neto that he was like you. And then, you know, Johnny Washington there, he had to jump in. And because he has a relationship with Dansby. And Dansby told Neto, I wasn't always what I am now. When I met Wash in 17, I was like you, trying to find my way. So, no, they know each other. It was great conversation. And Dansby's another class act. He's just pure in everything he does. And I want Neto to be pure in everything he does, but it's growth, and it takes time to get there. You don't just get there because somebody say you need to get there. No, you got to go through it.
How did Rendon's at-bats go yesterday?
Just as we figured. Timing is a little off, but he's seeing 20, 25, 30 pitches each time. So I think yesterday was the second day. No, today is the second day because it was Friday, Saturday. So he'll get some more today, and we'll see how it goes. We just got to wait and see.
Physically, though, it was fine?
Physically, it was fine.
Okay.
Physically, he was good. Maybe him taking those at-bats will tell him something.
Let's see what the Angels have in store this afternoon. See if they can get back in the win column for Game 2 of 3 from Wrigley Field. First pitch, lineups, it's all coming your way next. Wayne Randazzo, Mark Gubizza on the call. We'll see you throughout the afternoon. Enjoy the game.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
Marcus Lynn Betts, best player on the planet.
I love watching Mookie play.
On the Hall of Fame highway.
It's a blessing to have those expectations.
Goodness! And that one is gonna go! Mookie Betts, what a monster!
Got some more unfinished business to take care of.
Are you kidding me?
I try and do the best that I can in anything that I can control.
Nothing on a baseball field that Mookie Betts does not excel at.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home, where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
A sensational summer afternoon in Chicago, and today game 2 of a 3-game series between the Los Angeles Angels and the Chicago Cubs from historic Wrigley Field. Alongside Mark Gubazan, Wayne Randazzo, and Gooby, the Angels trying to find a way to score some runs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a historic ballpark. Like you said, the fans were into this game, but you also want to see some better at-bats there for the Angels going against Kyle Hendricks today, because yesterday's Steele was unbelievable.
Justin Steele had a complete game yesterday, and we've seen 2 of those against the Angels over the last 3 days. They've scored a total of just 1 run, but even though there's a day game and it's early out there today, the Angels were on the field trying to find some offense. Yeah, just get back into the perfect swing going, using the entire field type of approach. When you go up there and swing in and get loose, that's a better chance to be able to have some good offense today. We'll take a look at how things have gone here of late for the Angels and how you think they should get the offense back on track.
I don't think you have to be overly aggressive early in the count. They're making a lot of outs, especially when you're 52 of the 81 outs on the first 3 pitches of the sequence. So they're getting themselves out on pitchers' pitches. And also, you got to have your hands nice and relaxed and hit your pitch. Sometimes you squeeze the bat too tightly, trying to hit home runs. To stay within yourself and look for your pitch, whether it's a fastball or even a secondary pitch. You have to have that approach as a hitter and think middle of the field and make adjustments when needed. That way you can let the baseball travel a little bit deeper, use the whole field. If it's the inside pitch, then you turn. Otherwise, you have a better chance of being successful when you go back up the middle, no matter if it's a fastball or a breaking ball.
Well, the Cubs got an extremely well-pitched game from Justin Steele yesterday, but he was supported offensively by the fact the Cubs scored all of their runs with 2 outs, and it's been sort of a season-long struggle for the Angels pitching staff to avoid those 2-out runs.
Yeah, Wayne, sometimes, when you get 2 outs an inning when you're on the mound, you think you're through the inning, but all 5 runs yesterday when they had 2 outs in that approach. So the mindset has to be, and we look at how many runs they've allowed with 2 outs this season, 3rd most in baseball at 174. You have to stay focused. You have to figure, okay, they're still up there trying to do some damage. I got to go out there and make good pitches. I can't be relaxed. I can't throw pitches down the middle of the plate. I still got to go and work on the edges. To get to those 2 outs, that's what you're doing. You got to have that same mindset to get that 3rd out of an inning.
Now the sun's out. The ivy is plush. Let's see if the Angels can put it together here today, just the way you said.
Yes, it's perfect.
Get a victory here at Wrigley Field today. Game 2 between the Angels and the Cubs coming up in a few moments. We'll have more from Wrigley Field in just a moment.
It's time for MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Host a local event and give kids in your community a chance to compete in the Pitch, Hit, and Run finals at the 2024 MLB World Series. Sign up for free at pitchhitrun.com.
Want to elevate game night? Turn on MLB Big Inning, a revolutionary way to see the biggest moments from every game, live and commercial-free. Find it on the MLB.tv home screen. MLB Big Inning on MLB Network and MLB.tv.
Can't recall another baseball game where emotions ran so high. There it is! Fly ball to deep right field. It's out of here! It's gonna go!
What a play by Aaron Judge!
Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
it's Wrigley Field today for the Angels and the Cubs, the second of this three-game series. Yesterday, we told you about Mike Trout's visit to a local children's hospital. One of the patients he met, Atticus, recently came out to Angel Stadium to celebrate his birthday.
Whoa, what is going on?
I think I know the kid that's up there.
Atticus?
Yeah?
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Anthony.
Atticus.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hopefully you bring us slip
Thank
today.
you.
We win today, we win the series.
Yeah?
Yeah. How are you doing?
Good, good. And yourself?
Good, good. Carlos.
Atticus.
What's up, man? Atticus?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Daniel.
too.
Daniel, Hunter. Nice to meet you. I gotta go run. You wanna come run with me?
I wish I could.
I'm kidding. Nice to meet you. Sorry,
nice to meet you too. I haven't warmed up, but.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Go ahead, play catch with Neto.
Thank you.
You know who Big Papa is? Come on. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
How old are you turning now?
17.
17?
Yeah.
I remember when I was 17. Well, yeah.
In here?
Yeah.
Sure. This is great.
How was the clubhouse?
It was something. I liked it.
What's your name?
Atticus.
Atticus, is a pleasure.
Not bad. I think you could have done it.
Maybe next time.
All good.
Atticus, the guest of the Angels. He's fighting cancer right now, but celebrating your 17th birthday in grand fashion here with the Halos at the Big A. What an exciting day. Tell me a little bit about everything that you've seen.
Today I woke up just knowing that I was going to go to an Angels game, get a suite, maybe meet a few players. Once we got here, we came onto the field and then they took me into the cages. I didn't know that was going to happen, but when I was doing that, it definitely caught me off guard. Really cool. Met most of the players, got a ball signed by them. I even got to announce some of the batters going up for the game today, so it's definitely a good day.
Happy birthday, homie.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. What's up, dude? Got you cake.
Thank you.
She's great. I got it. Oh. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Atticus. Happy birthday to you. Sir.
Thank you.
Today, a very important milestone day for Kevin Pillar as he celebrates 10 years of Major League service time. He'll be with Erica Weston and talk about his big day coming up in just a moment.
From the day's first pitch to the night's final out, MLB Network sets the stage for fans every day.
So it'll be interesting to watch what happens here
all season long. See the players who are making a statement.
Hey, let's check out the board, folks.
With live games every week.
Inside the park we go.
Cutting-edge baseball chatter. Plus highlights, analysis, and live look-ins on MLB Tonight. MLB Network. The game is the star.
I've given up on trying to get rid of batting average. There's no beating it.
Brian Kenny's always thinking about baseball, and he's fired up for 2024.
These are the standards by which major leaguers are measured.
Watch the show for the thinking fan, MLB Now, on MLB Network.
It's time for MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Host a local event and give kids in your community a chance to compete in the Pitch, Hit, and Run finals at the 2024 MLB World Series. Sign up for free at pitchhitrun.com.
special day for Kevin Pillar, officially reaching 10 years service time. First off, KP.
Marcus Lynn Betts, best player on the play.
For you and for your family that's been with you up to this point.
I mean, it's a huge accomplishment. It's kind of hard to put into words right now. Obviously, the little celebration we had up there put a lot of things in perspective for me. But you know, I was reflecting on last year. I was tasked to give a speech for Marcell Ozuna reaching 10 years service time, and I was able to do some research on, you know, what that really means in this game and the rarity that it's accomplished in this game. And I think it's somewhere between 0 and 5% of guys that play in the major leagues reach 10 years. So for me to be able to accomplish that's beyond my wildest imaginations. It's a good accomplishment. You know, I've had a good support system. Obviously, my wife's been with me since day one. It's easy to come home when things are going well in this game. It's easy to be a good husband, a good father, you know, a good friend. But there's some dark times in this game, and to have a support system and, you know, someone to, you know, be there through the dark times is really important. Kind of a full circle moment with Perry, you know, him up there, you know, kind of talking about my journey from the very beginning, you know, as a guy that drafted me with Toronto and believed in me to be able to kind of come full circle and finish, you know, with Perry in charge, but also kind of with a hometown team has been a really cool moment for me.
Very cool. Last one before we get you out of here. How you plan to celebrate today?
I'm not really sure. You know, given everything that's happened this year, it was not a foregone conclusion that I would reach this date. You know, obviously over the last, you know, month and a half playing pretty good baseball, I felt like, you know, I survived my 45 days with the team, you know, meaning, you know, I kind of guaranteed to be here the rest of the year. But you really never know. You know, my agent flew in yesterday. I was able to go out to dinner with him last night, his son and his brother and stuff. Someone that's been with me since day one. You know, when you're a 32nd round draft pick, you don't have a ton of agents, you know, calling you to want to ride with you out of the draft. You know, he found me when I was in A-ball. You know, honestly, kind of like a cold call. He reached out to me when I was in A-ball, explained, you know, kind of what an agent does, and he's been with me, you know, through thick and thin. So it was important that he came out here and we were able to celebrate together.
Well, whatever you decide to do today, enjoy it. And when you get back home with your family, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, baseball coming your way soon from the friendly confines. Tyler Anderson on the mound for game 2 of 3 of this weekend set from Wrigley Field.
Can't recall another baseball game where emotions ran so high. There it is! Fly ball to deep right field. It's out of here! It's gonna go!
What a play by Aaron Judge!
Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
Want to elevate game night? Turn on MLB Big Inning, a revolutionary way to see the biggest moments from every game, live and commercial-free. Find it on the MLB.tv home screen. MLB Big Inning on MLB Network and MLB.tv.
This is your captain speaking. We'd like to welcome you on board MLB The Show 24. Where gamers can play as their favorite baseball teams, create custom players, and even relive history with some of baseball's greatest legends. Now, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Can I play? Rated E for everyone.
Kevin on the mound today. All-star rosters get revealed tomorrow. Maybe he's on it.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball exceptionally well all season long. I'm talking about pitching the baseball, using his cutter, fastball, and above all, his changeup has been electric with 38 strikeouts. It's a 195 batting average versus his changeup this season.
He'll be on the mound at Wrigley Field today. The marquee all lit up for the Angels and the Cubs, Game 2. A sparkling Saturday afternoon in Chicago, and the wind blowing out toward left today as the Cubs are on the field ready for Game 2 of this series. The Cubs have not had a 3-game winning streak since the end of April. And meanwhile, the Angels trying to avoid their 6th straight loss, which would be a season high for them. That's right on the heels of what was their best stretch of the year, a 6-game winning streak.
It seems like break both those streaks then for the Cubs winning streak and the Angels losing streak. Sounds good today, Wayne.
Now, here's a guy who grew up around Southern California in Orange County. His dad worked for the Angels at one point, and their ticket office, Kyle Hendricks, pitching for the Cubs.
Yeah, the professor on the mound. He's not going to wow you with velocity, but he's going to change speeds really well. Struggling a little bit this season, 1-6 ERA over 7. A little bit better of late for Kyle Hendricks.
Very curious who will throw the hardest fastball today, Hendricks or Tyler Anderson. I give you the Angels lineup brought to you by Simpson Chevy, facing Hendricks today as Nolan Shonowell leads it off. Keston Hera moves up in the order to play second base as he made his Angels debut yesterday. Taylor Ward, Willie Calhoun, Logan O'Hoppe, 3, 4, and 5 in the order for the Halos. Kevin Pillar not in the lineup today despite reaching 10 years of service time. A huge day for Pillar.
Yeah, congrats to Kevin Pillar. What an achievement that is for Pillar.
He gave a big rousing speech before the game to his teammates. Bo Porter, the Angels first base coach, said that was like a movie scene, the way Kevin Pillar delivered that speech to his teammates before the game.
Well, he had a suit on coming in the yard today. He was dressed for success.
Nolan Shonowell takes a strike. Now they got to win one for Pillar.
Yes.
You can't go out after a speech like that and not pull off a victory. As Kyle Hendricks starts off Shonowell with a strike. Should see a lot of those from Hendricks. A curveball that has come back for him lately, trying to help Hendricks get back to form in what's been a really rough start for him this year.
Yeah, and he also has a pretty good changeup, although he's left a few of those over the plate too. He's not going to wow you, like I said, but he's going to have to live on the edges or getting chases out of the strike zone once he's ahead.
He has had an 8.81 ERA as a starting pitcher this year. A few outings where he looked like he was turning the corner. He beat the Giants in a game where he had struck out 8, allowed just 1 run, but then last time out against Milwaukee gave up 7.
Yeah, when he's behind in the count, batters are hitting 444 against him. So when he's ahead, though, that's when he gets chases and works on the edges or just in the shadows of them.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Shonowell. In a lot of ways, these two starting pitchers, despite throwing with opposite arms, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, I mean, they're both going to try to get you out in front on changeups. So he'll use his curveball. You got Anderson using his cutter.
Ball 3 to Nolan Shonowell. That curveball missing the outside corner. Well, you will never hear a pitcher with a 7.5 ERA get an ovation like the one Kyle Hendricks got before the game today. Shonowell dumps one foul. Despite whatever he does here in 2024, Kyle Hendricks will go down as an all-time Chicago Cubs hero.
What a year he had in 16 for him, including how he got them to the World Series. I mean, he's just a student of the game of pitching.
He was the starting pitcher in Game 7 of the World Series that year. Left with the Cubs leading. That lead disappeared toward the end. Aroldis Chapman gave up a home run to Rajai Davis, but the Cubs did win in extra innings and changed the way people look at things around here after 108 years without winning a title. Shonowell dumps another one foul. A good long at bat here from Shonowell to start the game.
Yeah, surprisingly, that's the first changeup he went 3-2 count against him. He usually throws a high percentage. So a number of fastballs in here. He's jumped it up to 88 miles an hour. And when he's inside, he can get in on the left-handed or even right-handed batter, even at 88 miles an hour.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Shonowell. That's ball 4, just missed.
Great at bat. And the go-tos to have success and get that offense going against Kyle Hendricks today is you got to bring that fastball in the zone. When you do that, 372 batting average between his 2 and 4-seam fastball, 7 home runs, and drive that changeup in the air. He tries to get a lot of ground balls. He get in the air, has some carry. He's given up 5 home runs versus his changeup. But what an at bat by Shonowell there. He was 0-2. Worked the walk.
9 pitches in that at bat, and now a strike to Keston Hera. Hera, the former Brewer, making his Angels debut yesterday, and he has seen Kyle Hendricks a lot, going 4 for 19 against him lifetime. And a bloop to right field. This one will fall for a base hit. Shonowell got a late break off of first, and he will only advance to second base. You know, if he had seen where the second baseman Horner had been, he should have been able to get a better break off of first base.
Yeah, because there's no way you're going to get anywhere near that. Looked like he hit the corner of the bag and slipped. Ran that fastball in. Again, he'll jam hitters with his fastball, even 87, 88. Just put it in play. So he hit that corner of the base as he tried to pick it up, and he slips and has to go back quickly, giving Taylor Ward a chance to drive in a run here in the first inning, score early.
It would be nice for an Angels team that has not scored much at all. Just 1 run over the last 3 games. Now, in the 8 games previously, they had averaged over 5 runs per game, scoring at least 5 in all 8 of those. The offense has completely gone south since then, as Taylor Ward fouls one off. 14 homers for Ward. He's driven in 44. He leads the Angels in those categories.
Pretty close to an even split as far as batting average lefty-righty against Hendricks this year. 307 for lefty, 301 for righties.
There's a line drive and a base hit for Taylor Ward. This will get the Angels on the board. Nolan Shonowell falls down around third base and has to scramble back. So the Angels don't score the first run of the game, at least not yet, as Shonowell has fallen down rounding both second base and third base in this inning.
I hope he's okay on that one too. Not as comfortable getting up. Sometimes you think about it when you're playing football, you get those little higher cleats on your shoes. Twice he's gone down, once in the dirt and another time now on the grass.
Swanson was the most surprised guy in the ballpark when he turned around and saw Shonowell flat on his stomach touching third base. Well, the turf monster has taken hold of Nolan Shonowell here today. There's a strike to Willie Calhoun.
Especially as a run producer, you're thinking, okay, I got my RBI, I got 45 now on the season. Now an opportunity for Willie Calhoun to drive in Shonowell.
Hendricks gave up a grand slam in his last outing against a Brewers team that has hit 6 over their last 13 games.
Feels like you're really going to have to cover a ball to get it out to right field today.
The wind is blowing across toward the left field corner at the moment. And there's a high strike to Calhoun. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Home plate umpire today is Emil Jimenez.
He called that one a strike, and that was a ball. The one before looked like it was a strike. Did he call the ball? They're even up.
So bases loaded, nobody out. Angels trying to get on the board against Hendricks. A breaking ball lands for strike 3 called. So big out for Hendricks. A strikeout and the first out of the game.
Backdoor to curveball, upper part of the strike zone. As you give up on that as a hitter, thinking it's off the plate, but it definitely catches the upper quadrant outside corner. This is a huge at bat, really. This is the first inning. It's mandatory to get the job done. And Hoppy hits a lot of baseballs on the ground, but he's going to look to try to lift something here.
The Cubs have turned the fewest double plays in the National League for a team that was so highly regarded defensively in 2023. With largely the same roster, their defense has been nowhere near as good this year.
Well, if he can get someone up in the air with his power to left field, there could be some damage.
Breaking ball misses the outside corner. So now it's a hitter's count. 2 balls, no strikes on Logan O'Hoppe, who has done a whole lot of damage of late. And he's another guy that should be watching the All-Star roster unveiling tomorrow, because he could be on it representing the American League. 2 balls, no strikes. And O'Hoppe gets hit by the pitch, or was it a foul?
It looked like it got right in the elbow.
He's been hit by the pitch, and a run will score.
They're going to make sure that he didn't swing at that one. That definitely got him in the elbow.
So it's an RBI for O'Hoppe on a hit by pitch. Now Craig Counsell is coming out. Cubs manager would like a word with the home plate umpire. Shotwell stays on his feet to touch home plate, and it's 1-0.
I think he's going to ask him if he actually swung the bat. He says no.
Well, they appealed to first. They asked the first base umpire, Lance Barksdale, and he said no swing. No, there was no swing.
No. Right on the arm. Right on the elbow, the throwing arm, too. They would say that's almost by the funny bone, but I've never heard of anybody ever said it's funny when you get hit there.
Well, I think Counsell was mistaken, because the way O'Hoppe's forearms are, it probably sounded like it hit the bat. Sounded like it hit a brick wall.
So that was much easier for Shotwell to score on that one. That was a nice job by Logan O'Hoppe taking care of his friend.
Shotwell's going to have to call an Uber next time he wants to get around the bases after all those trips. And here is Mickey Modiak with the bases still loaded. As he loops one toward right, Suzuki's after it, moving toward the line. He makes a running catch. Hera tags up. Suzuki's throw to the plate on the way. It's a good one, and it is in time. Hera's out as Seiya Suzuki guns him down for what appears to be an inning-ending double play.
I challenge that one. I almost felt like he got his hand in. There was a number of pitches missed in the first inning also. Looks like they're not going to. Wow, just 1 run scored.
Have you heard? Soda's not a dirty word anymore. Introducing Poppy, the best thing to happen to lemon lime since, well, lemons and limes. It's the iconic, refreshing flavor you crave, but with 3 grams of sugar. Real lemon, real lime, real juicy flavor. The future of soda is now, and it's called Poppy. Poppy, soda's back.
There's an easier way. From painting and cleaning to repairs and more. Taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy.
What?
And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too!
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
I can tell you how much you spent on takeout, and it's a lot.
You could track my spending by category. 1, weird. 2, how?
Rocket Money.
Go on.
It's a finance app that shows you all your accounts, bills, and subscriptions in one place, and it analyzes your spending habits to create a custom budget that works for even you.
Sign me up.
Catch by Seiya Suzuki. With a bit of a hitch before that throw, he let off a 1-hop strike to Tomas Nido. As Hera tried to slide around the tag, but there it was on the helmet before Hera could get in.
Yeah, Suzuki did get a lot behind that throw once he got himself in position to make that throw. Just tagged him before he got that hand on the back part of the plate. I do think you have to take that shot, especially when you have the momentum. It's not an easy play for an outfielder coming in on that baseball. See how that wind knocked that down so easily in right field. It's a tough inning, though, for the Halos. They did get one, but you're looking for more.
Tyler Anderson misses upstairs to Nico Horner. As Anderson gets the ball today, his ERA has climbed above 3 after his most recent performance didn't go that great. It's 2-0, and one thing we've seen from Anderson, although just 1 walk in his last start, he gave up 6 runs against the Tigers, but he's had some issues with his command lately. And there's a strike right at the edge of the inside corner at the top of the zone to Horner.
I'll tell you what, for both these pitchers that rely a lot on the corners and getting calls on the corners, it's been an odd first inning for the man that's behind the plate.
Pulling a lot of high strikes, including that last one to Horner. 2 balls and 1 strike. A wave and a miss through the good changeup from Anderson.
Yeah, that was a good setup. Fastball up and in, the changeup down and away. Textbook pitching.
Horner was solid the last couple of years for the Cubs. He has not hit as much this year. He lines this one through, and a good stolen base threat out there for Chicago as Horner starts with a leadoff single.
Go-tos for Tyler Anderson to get back on track. 5 games he has won in his career against Cubs. His 2 losses. Get back on track. Work ahead throughout. Batting numbers completely different when he's ahead of the count as compared to behind. And that changeup on the edges. 195 batting average, 38 strikeouts. 302 when he's been behind the batter. Just 179 when he's been ahead.
Fell behind Horner, gives up a base hit. Now Patrick Wisdom looks at a strike. We'll show you the Cubs lineup with Wisdom as the DH today. He has a lot of power. Cody Bellinger and Suzuki 3 and 4. Ian Happ's been their best hitter this year as he bats in the number 5 spot. Horner can steal. He had 43 stolen bases last year. As Wisdom comes up empty, it's 0-2. Horner has 14 stolen bases in 16 tries this year.
It's been a while since Tyler Anderson has picked off a base runner, too. He has 17 in his career. It's been about 4 years, though.
Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes on Wisdom. Wisdom basically is the kind of guy that will strike out a lot, but when he does make contact, he can send it out onto the street. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Wisdom. All or nothing type at the plate here.
He's got some serious power, but that also gives you a chance if you get one towards the end of the bat. If he hits it on the ground, you get a double play with it.
2 balls and 2 strikes, and then a swing and a miss for strike 3. So there's another strikeout for Wisdom, and the first today for Tyler Anderson.
And the defense behind Tyler Anderson is going to be around the zone for the most part, and there will be some contact made. Mickey Moniak out in center. It's going to be a tough, difficult center field today with the wind blowing the way it is. 3 defensive runs saved, 1 outfield assist. Ward and Adell around him. Guillerme, Mr. Hands over there, 3rd. Neto, Hera, and Shawnawall over in the infield. Logan O'Hoppe again, by the way, again behind the plate.
Yes, well, he usually is back there, and this is a streak of 4 straight day games for the Angels. And they have not done that in a long time. 2010 the last time. Of course, that included a trip to Wrigley Field. Cody Bellinger takes a strike. It's a much different life if Wrigley Field is your home ballpark, because you will have so many more day games than any other team that you could play for or work for.
And you got to get your body adjusted to that too, because you play so many normal night games. They play always on Friday afternoon where at home, and then you got the Saturday and Sunday day games too.
Usually the night games here happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, but if Thursday is a getaway day, then no, they'll have another day game then too. Bellinger whiffs on a good cutter from Anderson, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Bellinger quite a few at bats in his career versus Tyler Anderson. 4 for 19, a couple of those out of the ballpark.
Teammates at 1.2 on the Dodgers. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Bellinger lays off, and it's 2-2. It was all day games here until 8/8/88. The first ever night game at Wrigley Field, August 8th, 1988, although it got rained out. Cubs were supposed to play the Phillies that night. The first official night game was the next night, August 9th, 1988. That anniversary coming up soon. Greg Maddux did do a nice dive on the tarp, though, that night when the first night game got rained out.
I'm sure they were really happy about him doing that, too.
2-2. Bellinger turns on one and lifts it well foul, hooked to the right field corner. There was a big anti-night game agenda around here back then. There was a group called Citizens United by Sunshine, spelling out Cubs, that still wanted all-day games here as Bellinger swings and misses for strike 3, and Anderson gets back-to-back strikeouts.
Got a cutter by him there. He's upstairs. He just pulled off that one just enough. Nice job by Logan O'Hoppe holding on to that baseball.
Anderson has rebounded after a leadoff base hit by Horner. He has struck out Wisdom and Bellinger. Now Suzuki with a home run in the first inning yesterday.
Here's those 2-out scenario right now. You love to put up that 0, especially after your offense scored you a run in the top of the first. That focus to get that 3rd out.
1 ball, 1 strike on Suzuki. You can at least see what the Citizens United by Sunshine were thinking back in the mid to late 1980s. I look what this day has brought us here.
You know me, I like the sun a little bit. Gotta be all right with that.
1 ball, 1 strike on Suzuki. 2-1 the count. Did you like pitching during the day?
Yes, I did. You know, even though you always felt that hitters would say initially that they felt they saw the baseball better, but I think this the energy you would get in day games, and I think the fans love day games too. So you bring that energy whether you're at home or on the road for the fan base.
2 balls and 1 strike on Suzuki. As Anderson touches the inside corner with that changeup, and it's 2-2. Suzuki took Griffin Canning deep in the first inning yesterday, right into the basket to the right of straightaway center field. A swing and a miss, strike 3. Tyler Anderson, 3 straight strikeouts after a leadoff single in the first.
Let's talk about Black Ops.
It was awesome, hitting fairways and hitting it further. A great blend of forgiveness and speed.
All right now.
Sound is a big one for me. It definitely checks that box.
Wow, that's good.
The look of it when you're over the ball is great. I have the confidence with it when I'm playing. My name's Eric Cole, and I play PXG.
Perfection.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Managing my credit card debt was overwhelming, and it just wasn't a good place to be. My name is Carter, and Upstart helped me get rid of that credit card debt with a personal loan. Checking my rate with Upstart was super quick, super easy. It took me a few minutes to get my pre-approval and to get my interest rate. I got my money the next day. To just have 1 due date a month and only paying 1 person made my life a lot easier. Super easy to the point that I referred my friends to come and get a loan with Upstart.
Easy online borrowing. Personal loans up to $50,000. Go to upstart.com.
ED has affected my confidence. My wife, Sherry, says it doesn't matter, but it matters to me. I found Hims. The app is easy. It's on my phone. I can order anytime I want. Hims has been the difference in my confidence.
It was better for both of us.
Get treatment for ED with doctor-trusted medication. Get started today at hims.com.
Basketball fans from all over the United States have won over $1 billion. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up with promo code POSTER to claim your player's special and deposit offer. Underdog Fantasy, calling all dogs.
Finished my chores. Ready for...
Hey, we're in Chicago. Saturday in the park. You don't want me to sing that, do you?
I think it was the 4th of July.
Yeah. What a beautiful day at the park here today. Chicago.
Quite a shot indeed over Lake Michigan, and this city right on top of the lake as Zach Neto leads off in the top of the 2nd against Kyle Hendricks, who allowed 4 base runners in the first inning, but only 1 scored. Angels have the lead, though, after an inning. Tyler Anderson, 3 strikeouts in the bottom of the first. Ball 1 to Neto.
Both these pitchers rely so much on pitching on the edges or even the shadows. Anything down the middle of the plate has a chance of being hit hard against Kyle Hendricks, but he's a guy that doesn't throw many. When he's on his game, you don't throw many in the middle of the plate.
Edges and shadows, the pitcher's version of smoke and mirrors. 2 balls and a strike on Neto as he hits a pop fly toward right. We'll never know, it's Suzuki out there as he comes in for this one toward the line, and he does make the catch in foul territory.
Let's take a look at the Kyle Hendricks pitch arsenal. Take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Changeup about 40%, a sinker 35, will throw a 4-seamer about 13, curveball also in there at about 12%. His curveball has been very, very effective. That's the pitch he was able to freeze Willie Calhoun with on the outside corner. His go-to now to be able to get some punch-outs. More so his changeup.
Luis Guillorme takes ball 1 from Kyle Hendricks. Guillorme's good buddy behind the plate, Tomas Nido. They were teammates for a long time in the Mets major league and minor leagues teams as Guillorme lifts a pop up on the infield here. It's David Bodie playing third base, fighting the sun and making the catch.
Boy, Kyle Hendricks' fastball has been hit very, very hard between his 2-seam and 4-seam fastball. He's got 372. Slugging percentage of 611 and an OPS with the 4th worst in baseball, 1,030. Usually he used to be able to get a lot of ground balls and off balance swings on his sinker down, but that sinker has not been as consistent, nor the 4-seamer this season. One of those days where the wind's going out the left, where Joe Adell gets a hold of a baseball, almost like where Glenn Allen Hill hit one out here many, many, many years ago.
That was
the rooftops. That was unbelievable.
Kind of on a cold day, rainy day here too, early in a season. Glenn Allen Hill hit it on the top of the yellow building that is in left field. You'll see the left field building right there, the one right that is in fair territory. That's the building that Glenn Allen Hill homered on top of, and he's the only player that's ever hit a home run on the rooftops. Now the building next door used to be smaller, and Sammy Sosa hit one on top of that building when it was smaller, not the size it is now. There's a little pink house that was next to the yellow building, and now they raised the rooftops up. Got to raise the roof here at Wrigley, the rooftops at least, so you can make some money out there. That's what it's all about with the rooftops. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Adell, and it's ball 4, a check swing, but Adell didn't go around, so he walks with 2 outs here in the second.
Let's see if Joe Adell might have went after this one right here or been a strike called. I'll tell you what, these pitches today so far, that's a lot of the strike zone.
That's a strike.
Yes.
Adell should have been called out there. This inning continues though. Nolan Shotwell lines one to left field, and that's a base hit toward the line. Adell will tiptoe to second base and stop right there as Ian Happ gets to it quickly. So a couple of 2-out base runners, a gift from the home plate umpire Emil Jimenez, has allowed the Angels to put together a scoring threat.
And that's what you like to see from Nolan Shotwell. As much as everyone loves to see and talk about power, yeah, he's going to develop some of that. His swing is that line drive the other way, and he did that again. Sets up the table here.
Keston Hera had a base hit his first time, was thrown out at home by Suzuki. Ball 1 as Suzuki had a double play with that fly ball to right field off the bat of Mickey Moniak in the first inning, throwing out here at the plate. It's a line drive to right center field. That's a base hit. Adell rounds third. He comes home. Shotwell's on his way to third. Keston Hera is 2 for 2, and an RBI has given the Angels a 2-0 lead.
Already 3 hits is a halo. Inside out on that swing. Boy, again, we talked about as far as what you need to do to get the offense going. You got to think middle of the field and then the other way. So far, so good for Keston. He's going twice that way. These are not high velocity, exit velocity, I should say, off the bat, but they're put where it's more difficult to make a play against them.
More runs in the first 2 innings today than the last 3 games combined, as the Angels have gotten to Kyle Hendricks for 4 hits, all singles. As a throw to first chases back Hera. Hera's got 2 of them, as he was swinging the bat with authority at AAA, and now getting his first big league opportunity in a year and a half, and he's come through with a few hits already in 2 games. All 2 to Taylor Ward. Ward thought he had an RBI his first time up, but he lined a base hit to left field. Nolan Shotwell fell down rounding third base.
He made a good adjustment that first to third, though. Right now, quickly to go first to third.
Yes, he was able to use his feet appropriately to make the move from first to third.
An old teammate of mine who played on a number of teams, a lot of winning teams. They call them skates. Lonnie Smith. That happened a few times for him.
You know, players used to fall down here all the time when they would go toward the right field line, especially the second baseman moving toward the right field line on a pop-up. The ground was raised, and they really didn't know why until they redid the field here, and they found out that, you know, they really didn't do a good job after the Bears had left here. The Bears played here for a long time, but they hadn't played here since like 1970. And it wasn't until about 10 or 15 years ago that they dug around and found the old goalposts that were unburied underneath the field here.
Seemed like a good place for that to be.
So at right field especially, there was kind of a slope, and partially because those goalposts were buried underneath. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Taylor Ward as Hera runs. Throw to second by Nito from his knees, and Hera is out by a mile.
This is your captain speaking. We'd like to welcome you on board MLB The Show 24. Where gamers can play as their favorite baseball teams, create custom players, and even relive history with some of baseball's greatest legends. Now, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Can I play? Rated E for everyone.
Bobby Wood Jr. is an absolute superstar in the making.
I've never seen anything like him.
He's one of the best players in baseball.
Highlight reel play, Bobby Wood Jr.
That's why we call him Bobby Baseball.
He is a generational talent.
I want to win a World Series. I want to do it in Kansas City.
This guy is the cream of the crop right now.
Sensational again.
It is crazy, wiry, athletic pop that's only going to get better.
Sunday, baseball cards take center stage on MLB's Carded. Join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard, from vintage to modern. We've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
Angel Ballpark for a special milestone today for the Angels. Kevin Pillar celebrating 10 years of service time in Major League Baseball, certainly a rarity in the game today. And the team honored him and this milestone ahead of the game today. He showed up to the ballpark in his suit, yes, and also had his locker decorated, honoring that 10 years of service time. They held a toast and gave some speeches around 11 o'clock this morning in the Angels clubhouse. He said it put a lot of things in perspective, but he was reflecting on last year when he was tasked with giving a speech for Marcelo Zuna, who reached 10 years of service time, and he was able to do some research on what that really means in this game and the rarity. He said he thinks it's somewhere between 0 and 5% of guys that play in the major league, so it's beyond his wildest imaginations. But pretty cool full circle moment with Perry Manassian speaking as well, guys. The journey from the very beginning. He's the guy that drafted him in Toronto. He spoke as well, and he believed him to, you know, come full circle, finish with Perry in charge, come out with the hometown team. Cool moment for sure.
That is so cool when you think about it, a guy drafted as low or I guess or as high as you would say, and then, you know, putting up those numbers at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and everyone's kind of looked, is he going to be a player or not? But this is an outstanding defender who learned to hit at the major league level in 10 years. Amazing. Kyle Hendricks on the mound today he got his 10 years in back in June. So two players here today, that 10-year service, which, you know, under 5% of all major league players get an opportunity to play in the show for 10 years.
Here's Dansby Swanson after Tyler Anderson's retired the first 2 in this inning.
By the way, he was styling on the bus and coming into the ballpark today. When you're a 10-year vet, you want to look good.
Was he looking like one of the Untouchables, or what?
Yeah, could have been. Yes.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Swanson.
Styling.
Well, congratulations to Kevin. It's a huge deal to reach that 10-year service time, and so much goes into moments like that. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Swanson here. A swing and a miss for strike 3. Breezy inning for Tyler Anderson in the second.
It's time for MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Host a local event and give kids in your community a chance to compete in the Pitch, Hit, and Run finals at the 2024 MLB World Series. Sign up for free at pitchhitrun.com.
Marcus Lynn Betts, best player on the planet.
I love watching Mookie play
On the Hall of Fame highway.
It's a blessing to have those expectations.
Goodness, and that one is gonna go. Mookie Betts, what a monster.
Got some more unfinished business to take care of.
Are you kidding me?
I try and do the best that I can in anything that I can't control.
Nothing on a baseball field that Mookie Betts does not excel at.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
That big field approach, that means that let that baseball get deeper in the zone and go and make those quick adjustments. We're seeing it so far in the day for the Halos, where they're having some good contact on their swings, let the ball get deep, punch the ball either middle or the other way successfully for this early lead for the Halos against Kyle Hendricks, who's no longer in the game, but still solid approach there with that big field approach for the Halos today.
Imagine this was the plan for the Cubs. Hendricks only going 2 innings today. 4 hits allowed. Wasn't exactly hit hard. The Cubs largely would like to stay out of their bullpen as much as possible. They did yesterday the whole day. Justin Steele threw a complete game. But now we'll see a whole lot of this Cubs bullpen, and it's Colton Brewer pitching right now. Brewer had been up in the previous inning, so I'm not sure what that's about with regard to Hendricks, who threw 43 pitches in 2 innings. He'd been starting, so I don't know.
You see a lot of breakables here from Brewer between his curveball, his slider, and cutter. He's at 58%. Does have a pretty good fastball, though. It's that 92, 97. He can touch it. A lot of breakables.
Brewer seems to have gotten lost. He should be about an hour and a half
I know. I was
north
just
of
going
here.
to think, where is Milwaukee thinking of?
3 balls, 2 strikes on Taylor Ward. Hendricks putting together one of the worst seasons by a Cubs starter. Having lived through a lot of that, my eyes. Ruben Quevedo. Oh, man. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Taylor Ward.
What's the movie, Frozen? What's it say? Let it go?
Let it go. I know. I wish that were possible.
That's my twin's favorite song there, too, by the way, and favorite movie now already.
Well,
twin granddaughter.
Congratulations to you. Boy, Ward again. Another ball over his head. You can see he's frustrated. It seems like almost once a series, Taylor Ward is having to duck away from a pitch that's up around his head.
Yeah, you can see how frustrated, understandably so. I mean, not only you didn't get hit that time, but how quickly you got to jar your head. Look how quick you got to get out of the way of that baseball up and in.
And he's got to be sick of it after what happened to him last season. He got hit right in the helmet the other day.
Right in that C-flap right there.
So there's another one where Ward had to duck. This was ball 4. Now a ground ball right back to the mound. Good job by Brewer to catch it, but not to throw it. He just checked it into center field, and Ward will go to third. Well, it was a nice stab by Brewer and a very poor throw past Swanson.
Sometimes as a pitcher, for whatever reason, you panic when you get that baseball. You got to allow your infielder to get there first. As he got to the bag, he's trying to lead him. You want to lead it towards the second base side of the bag. He threw it behind him. Very difficult, especially for a shortstop, to react and reach back, even a Gold Glover like Swanson. Again, you're throwing up on the incline instead of down on the incline of the mound, but that's when you make that adjustment and put yourself in a better throwing position. You got to keep that front shoulder closed just like you do at the plate and when you make the throw to second base.
There's an opening for a big inning, and Logan O'Hoppe had an RBI his first time as the batter. O'Hoppe was hit with the bases loaded by Kyle Hendricks in the first. As he fouls one off. Talked to Logan a little bit today. He loves these old ballparks. He really appreciates and loves the history of the game, and he is really thrilled to be playing here at Wrigley. And he lines this one toward the left field corner, but it hooks foul.
Yeah, his mom and dad are here at the ballpark too. There's smiles on their face to be able to see this yard here.
12 homers for O'Hoppe, trying to catch Lance Parrish for the most by an Angel catcher before the break. Has a week to go. Next Sunday will lead us into the All-Star break. 1 ball, 2 strikes on O'Hoppe, who had 14 homers last year, and we saw all the signs that O'Hoppe was going to blossom into a star catcher, and I think it's happening maybe even more quickly than we thought.
He's made some outstanding throws from the catching position. Still working on that framing. That's a good take.
And it was a check swing that he held up on. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on O'Hoppe, but interested to see which Angel makes the All-Star team. Rengifo might have had a chance, but he's on the IL now. So it leaves it down to O'Hoppe, Anderson, maybe Carlos Estevez too. All 3. I'd love to see Logan O'Hoppe though.
Yes.
Call, and I think he deserves it.
No reason why they couldn't have 2 also, even with Carlos Estevez or Tyler.
Yeah, that's true as well. 3 balls, 2 strikes on O'Hoppe. A line drive out toward right center field. That's a base hit. Taylor Ward scores, advancing to second Calhoun. And the Angels have opened up a 3-0 lead.
And again, another good swing, that big field approach, not trying to pull the baseball, staying on it, get a little bit deeper in the zone, lines at right center field. A conversation there with Zach Neto and Taylor Ward too as he came into that dugout. He's trying to find what pitches he saw. Stayed on that really well. So far so good in their approaches at the plate here. Keep trying to add on.
Still nobody out in the inning as Mickey Moniak bats. Angels have scored a run in each of the first 3 innings so far. Moniak takes a strike, and what we've seen today, I think, is a feather in the cap right now for the hitting coach, Johnny Washington. He was given some rein from the manager, Ron Washington, in terms of how to approach this weekend. Ron Washington wanted no batting practice for the entire series. Johnny Washington kind of pushed for it and said, these guys need to work through what's been a rough offensive patch here these last few days. So they were out there today taking batting practice. Ron Washington said, well, if you want these guys to go hit, then go hit. As Brewer fields his position this time to retire Moniak. You've seen the team respond with 3 runs on 5 hits in the early going.
And letting that baseball travel, being more patient, not being over aggressive early in counts also. That almost worked like a bunt. They were thinking initially that Moniak was going to bunt. The corner infielders were playing in, and then with 2 strikes, a ground ball like that, even though it's an out by Moniak and it's a productive out, both base runners advance, and now the infield is in for Chicago.
Runners on second and third, 1 out, and here's a chance for Neto to extend the lead even further. It's 3-0 Angels in the third. As Neto takes ball 1 from Colton Brewer, who's in relief of Kyle Hendricks. Check swing fly ball, shallow center. Bellinger comes in, can't get it. It's a base hit. On his way toward the plate is Calhoun. Surprised Bellinger didn't look that way. Calhoun was trying to tag up in case Bellinger caught it, but it's an RBI single and a check swing, and the Angels have a 4-0 lead.
Well, that's a big field approach right there. Flared it in there to center field. Right towards the end of the bat, punch it that way. Gets rewarded for an RBI single, give him a 39 RBI now in the season. Hopefully that'll get Neto going again. Those little flares sometimes can get you going. I'll tell you what, with that arm that Bellinger has, he's got a real good chance of throwing him out at home.
I can't believe he didn't take a chance. I mean, ultimately that was similar to a fly ball and a sacrifice fly. The way Bellinger caught it on a hop, and Calhoun had barely left third at that point.
It was a perfect hop to him too. He got in great throwing position.
So the Angels have a 4-0 lead. The Cubs with Tommy Hotovy, their pitching coach, on the mound, will try to get through this inning. Meanwhile, we'll get in the car with Hyundai.
With features you won't find on CR-V, RAV4, or Forester, only a Tucson compares to a Tucson.
So here's Luis Guillorme, popped out his first time. The Angels now 4 runs, 6 hits. As Kyle Hendricks only lasted 2 innings today, and I wonder if it was something injury related that pulled him so quickly. Well, Colton Brewer has come in, and the Angels
he was leaning
taking advantage.
He was going. Helps help it out a little bit there with 3 walks scored and an error. That helps out quite a bit. Got some hit batters.
Brewer missing to Guillorme. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, this is a lot more of the type of play the Cubs have had over the last several weeks. We didn't really see it yesterday because of the way Justin Steele dominated, and the Cubs had some 2-out hits. But it's been a frustrating period of time for this ball club as they've dropped to last place in the National League Central. 2 balls and no strikes on Luis Guillorme.
A good contact guy. He's trying to get the ball in the air beyond that ground ball.
Slapped foul over toward the on-deck circle, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, as much as we talk a lot about Guillorme's glove and how good his hands are, same thing at the plate. You wonder now with a count like this if Neto would be moving.
Neto has a pretty big lead at first, not running, as Guillorme takes a strike at the knees. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Neto with a pretty good arm coming in and throwing about 22% of base stealers.
Throw to first as Neto goes back in. Angels trying to break this one open as they have a 4-0 lead already, and still more opportunity here in the third with runners on the corners and 1 out. Neto is running this time. Neto on what was essentially a pitch out, throws low to second. Here comes the runner from third. O'Hoppy's headed to the plate. He scores ahead of the throw from Horner. And the Angels steal a run. They lead 5-0.
With some boos now, some not so good defensive play work for the Cubs in this inning, in this game so far. '13th stolen base of the year for Neto. And O'Hoppy is able to score on the error.
Throw was low. Swanson, who's a Gold Glove winner, couldn't pick it out. And as soon as O'Hoppy saw that ball trickling away from Swanson, he made it home ahead of the throw from Nico Horner. So that's 2 errors in the inning for the Cubs. It's 3 runs for the Angels, who now lead by 5.
Another
and
walk.
Guillorme takes ball 4. Well, the Chicago sports scene right now is having a tough time. This is on pace to be the worst year in the history of Chicago sports. A .379 combined winning percentage. It's really by far and away the worst year. 1999 was the previous record for the worst year combined for all of the teams. And, you know, the Bears are on the up and up. They got a real quarterback now.
Yeah, oh yes.
Caleb Williams.
By the way, you got to feel pretty good about that. It's been back-to-back days that's brought up, right?
Well, it was brought up to us off camera yesterday. But in 1999, there was a .412 winning percentage. So .379 now. That's pretty far off from .412. And it's up to the Cubs and White Sox to save it, I guess.
Hey, growing up as a Philly fan, we've seen those years. Believe me.
Yeah, well, not in a while. The Philly sports seems pretty good right now.
It's turned around a little bit.
The balls and 2 strikes on Joe Adell.
Huge
Runners
jump.
are going, and they will steal easily. A double steal.
Guillorme picking up a steal. Look at that out there.
It's Neto on one end and Guillorme on the other.
Neto's going, hey, we used to be friends now. No longer we friends.
Whatever. 2-2 the count on Adell. For Zach Neto, that's stolen base number 14.
We had that jump and go start. As a trail runner, you got to wait to see when the runner's going in front of you. And Guillorme picked up a stolen base first of the year.
3-2 now on Joe Adell.
In this ballpark, you got to keep adding on, especially where the wind is blowing out today to left field. Just keep adding on.
It's already 5-0, and Adell with a big swing there. He could have made it 8, and he made some contact, at least in fair ground. Fouled that one off. 3-2.
When you see a swing like that, if you're on the mound, there's a pretty good chance you're going to see something breaking here, whether it's a curveball or a slider here from Brewer to Joe Adell. See that contact, use that big part of the field mentality.
There's a pop-up on the infield. So this won't get the job done as far as scoring another run. Horner makes the catch. So 2 outs, and the batter will be Shonowell. There's 3 games in progress right now, including this one. All 3 games have teams with big leads.
Football scores. Yankees with 10, the Twins with 7. The Astros were up by what, 7 or 8 runs yesterday against the Twins, and they made it a 1-run game in the 9th inning.
I think it was a 6-run 9th inning to make it a 13-12 win for Houston last night. How about Jose Miranda with a base hit today? He has had now a base hit in 11 consecutive at-bats. He's one off the major league record.
That is unreal.
The Yankees, who have had a miserable time lately, they've lost 14 of their last 18. Garrett Cole didn't make it out of the 5th inning today, but the Red Sox bullpen has coughed up a 7 spot in the bottom of the 5th in New York. Ooh. Shonowell fouls that off his foot, and he'll need a moment to regroup.
Well, those feet and legs are taking a beating already in this game for Shonowell. It's amazing how many baseballs he fouls off the back foot, back leg.
Top of his legs. I mean, he fouls pitches off all over his lower body.
And usually when you see that, it's because you're not getting through the baseball. Going in, getting the hands inside the baseball gives you a chance to be able to get the barrel out or the, the good part of the bat on it.
Mike Frostad is the head athletic trainer for the Angels. Comes out with Ron Washington, the manager. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes on Shotwell as the Angels forced Colton Brewer to throw 36 pitches in this inning. And they've grabbed a 5-0 lead with 3 runs in the inning.
Right on the top of the back foot. You have that protection, the shin guard on the front foot. We've seen that so often for Nolan this year. Again, staying inside the baseball will alleviate that sometimes. I mean, he's trying to do it. He does a great job of staying inside and go to left field. There's certain counts, though, especially when he's ahead of the count. He's trying to turn on it. Hopefully he's going to be okay. He's trying to walk that off. It's been a crazy inning so far for the Angels.
A lot has happened. Leadoff walk and a throwing error on what could have been a double play ball off the bat of Willie Calhoun. The error by the pitcher. Logan O'Hoppe had an RBI single. Zach Neto had a check swing RBI single. Then Neto stole second. There was a throwing error by the catcher Nito, allowing O'Hoppe to score. Then Neto and Guillorme pulled off a double steal. So there has been a lot of action in this inning.
And the Angels really haven't squared anything up, really, when you think about it. They've made some good contact.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Shotwell.
And then he hits him in the
ball
back
hit
foot.
him in that same foot, did it?
It's impossible.
Shotwell is limping all the way to first base. He just fouled the ball off his back foot, and I think that pitch hit him on the back foot.
Right on the back foot.
And that's going to be the end. Oh, man. It's going to be the end of the day for Colton Brewer. Craig Counsell has to go back to his bullpen.
That's fortunate for Shotwell. He gets a little bit of a break here.
I've given up on trying to get rid of batting average. There's no beating it.
Brian Kenny's always thinking about baseball, and he's fired up for 2024.
These are the standards by which major leaguers are measured.
Watch the show for the thinking fan, MLB Now, on MLB Network.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
It starts with kindness, reaching out a helping hand. Even the smallest gestures mean the world to a lot of people.
Stand up to cancer.
Together.
Together.
Together. Together.
Bobby Wood Jr. is an absolute superstar in the making.
I've never seen anything like him.
He's one of the best players in baseball.
Highlight reel play, Bobby Wood Jr.
That's why we call him Bobby Baseball.
He is a generational talent.
I want to win a World Series. I want to do it in Kansas City.
This guy is the cream of the crop right now.
Sensational again.
It is crazy, wiry, athletic pop that's only going to get better.
July 12th to add a hat to your collection. The first 25,000 fans in attendance will receive an Angels Core Cat courtesy of Pocari Sweat. Visit angels.com/promotions for more information. Angels will be home for the entirety of the next week. And right now they will face Jorge Lopez, who is appearing in his 4th game as a Cub.
Yeah, pretty firm fastball. He'll have 96-99 curveball, slider, changeup.
Colton Brewer threw a lot of pitches, got 2 outs, made an error, gave up 3 runs and possibly 5 if the 2 guys on base score. That was a less than spectacular performance from Brewer. There's a strike to Keston Hera, who is a former Brewer. Well, you got a Brewer pitching for the Cubs. You have to expect some sabotage.
Picked up his first RBI since 22. Last at bat.
Hit hard towards short, but Swanson has him, gets it to second for the force out to end the inning.
Alonso, franchise cornerstone, homegrown Met.
That's the guy you want to build your team around.
You know, Pete has turned into such an intelligent hitter.
If you hit it, it goes, that's for sure.
Oh, man, Pete got a hold of one.
There's not many guys who can do what he does from an offensive standpoint.
It's out of here, and the Mets win it! Into the second deck!
That ball was tattooed.
Polar Bear's a ribby machine.
It's time for MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Host a local event and give kids in your community a chance to compete in the Pitch, Hit, and Run finals at the 2024 MLB World Series. Sign up for free at pitchhitrun.com.
Want to elevate game night? Turn on MLB Big Inning, a revolutionary way to see the biggest moments from every game, live and commercial-free. Find it on the MLB.tv home screen. MLB Big Inning on MLB Network and MLB.tv.
For Tyler Anderson on the edges, such a good pitch. Dominates on that one when he's on that shadow of that edge area. Just 167 opponent's batting average. When he gets that hard to plate, 20% of the time, 250 batting average. And today, on the edge, and the shadow knows that it's difficult to hit the changeup. It's Tyler Anderson. 4 strikeouts in this game for TA.
Harry Carey used to say that. Only the shadow knows. I had no idea what he was talking about until I was about 30 years old.
Now you understand.
Yes, now I get it. It's an incredibly old TV show.
Yes. One of the original soap operas.
David Bodie, it's a one-out for Luis Guillorme, who gets in position for the first out of the inning. He's on the top of the third inning. It was a routine play, but notice Nolan Shonowell here, as he is the force out at second base, running through the bag as if he was running toward first base. And the reason for that, why a player would do that, is in a situation with the bases loaded. If Horner dropped the ball or something there, or if it was a bang-bang play, you know, maybe Shonowell is safe for a moment, at least long enough to let that run score from third.
Exactly. Maybe that's why Ron Washington said at some point maybe he's going to make a good manager, even though he's got about 2 days in the big leagues. Yeah, he's still thinking about his future already.
You don't see this a lot from a base runner going from first to second with the bases loaded. But again, the reason for it is that you're sacrificing yourself out there just in case something happens where you can get that run home. As Guillorme scoops up another. That's the wrong guy to hit it to.
I know. How about those hands?
Well, Tomas Nido, he should know better.
Yes.
His former Mets teammate.
He's really not liking him today now. He steals a base against him and he makes a nice play. He's looking over at him now. He's trying to, and Guillorme's trying to make sure he doesn't look that
look
way.
Away.
Yes.
The 5th career stolen base for Guillorme, his first since 2022. 2 quick outs. Anderson is retired now 8 in a row. Only Nico Horner has reached base against him. Horner had a base hit to begin the bottom of the first.
Let's go back to Tyler Anderson. Calls his own game right away. Knows exactly what he wants to throw.
Two balls and 1 strike on Horner. You think about the All-Star game when you know you got a shot. Are you waiting for that call or that roster reveal?
Yeah, I think I can remember in '88 pitching in Yankee Stadium. I think I even went CG, maybe shutout in there, and I knew there was a possibility. I'm like, okay, with that win there against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, I thought I had a shot. When I got that call, I was completely out of my mind. That was like the biggest thrill ever. Well, for an individual thing. Winning a World Series obviously is #1, but as an individual basis, though, making the All-Star game, just being around all the best in the game and all the immortals that come to the game too, getting to shake hands with the Lou Brocks, the Willie Mays, all the great players of all time coming there to the All-Star games.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Horner. A fly ball to right field. Adell has to back up for it, but he makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Anderson.
ED has affected my confidence. My wife, Sherry, says it doesn't matter, but it matters to me. I found Hims. The app is easy. It's on my phone. I can order anytime I want. Hims has been the difference in my confidence.
It was better for both of us.
Get treatment for ED with doctor-trusted medication. Get started today at hims.com.
How many pairs of Tecovas boots is too many pairs? Not sure. How much fun is too much fun? Find your next pair or 2 at Tecovas.
Ooh, that's a lovely view.
What are you two looking at?
Tip pick.
What did you say?
Tip pick. Tickets to the show with no hidden fees.
The salty air, the golden light, reflections of who you were, who you are, and who you're becoming. Luxury meets performance. Peter Millar.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
As we take a look at the Angels with some low exit velocities today, but the base hits have been falling against the Cubs pitching staff that has not missed many bats here early on.
Yeah, I mean, you think back to what we were talking about, that middle of the field going the other way, this contact, finding out outfield grass.
Third Cubs pitcher of the day already out there, and it's a ball from Jorge Lopez. They said that Kyle Hendricks had back tightness, and that's why he could not continue today.
Yeah, I thought there had to be a reason.
I figured it was not part of the plan for the Cubs, who had a struggling bullpen here. They really missed Sanford Alzolay, who was a big part of their bullpen last year. Hector Neris was signed in the offseason. He has not been that good. So, Craig Counsell can only point to who's down there. And he has not been able to have the same success with the Cubs that he did with Milwaukee. When Counsell came down from the Brewers, everybody thought, well, this is going to be huge for Craig Counsell. He gets to work with a big payroll and do the things that he normally does as a manager. He should really have a lot of success, and that has been the opposite.
That Brewer bullpen makes you look good as a manager too.
Yes. On Washington, one of, along with Counsell, 2 of the 8 managers that had either switched teams or gotten new managerial jobs. Got some first-timers on that list too, including Stephen Vogt, who has led the Cleveland Guardians to a 54-32 record to begin the year. Hey, Pat Murphy, at 65 years old, as a first-time manager, he might be the manager of the year in the National League.
He's done a great job.
Ball 4 to Taylor Ward, so Lopez walks him to begin the top of the 4th.
Base 3 times today. Going back to the hits today, StatCast 3D brought to you by Google Cloud. Where these baseballs have all gone. You're talking about middle going the other way. Only the one baseball that really turned on was Taylor Ward. That was it. Look at that. That's a lot of the big field approach.
Willie Calhoun looks at a strike. I think it's kind of a misnomer sometimes when you see hits like that and people say, oh, that was luck. That was good luck. They didn't hit the ball hard and it fell in, found some grass, and that's just lucky. You can't keep that up. You can't sustain that over a long period of time. But first of all, who cares? Today's today. Today's game is the one you're worried about. Yeah. And second of all, the contact was made because you had a guy in Hendricks throwing 85 miles an hour out there at best. Another guy, Colton Brewer, comes in. He's not doing very well. So, yeah, they gave up some hits. And here's one past the glove of Bush.
That was
Calhoun lines it through. That was a hard hit ball, and it puts Ward at third base as Suzuki's throw in gets cut off.
I mean, making contact, you have a chance to have something go well when you make contact. That was 102 off the bat. Just as we were talking about that narrative, he goes, you know what? Let me help you guys out here. 102. That's a better chance to get it by somebody at 102 as compared to Adell at 88. But still a good swing there by Willie Calhoun. Even that last ball he hit back up the middle, the Brewer ended up making a throwing error, and he hit that ball well.
There's another scoring chance as Ohapi swings through the 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Jorge Lopez.
Even, by the way, going back to Stephen Vogt, remember all those chants in Oakland, I believe in Stephen Vogt? I think they're saying the same thing in Cleveland right now, what he's done with that team.
Bouncing ball up the middle, Swanson flips to Horner for one. That's a double play, but it does score another run. 6-0 Angels, no RBI though for Logan Ohapi.
They continue to score runs every inning so far in this game for the Halos against Cubs pitching.
It's usually a recipe for success, just scoring every.
Yes, that helps.
That helps you win.
Yes.
Moniak swings and misses on a changeup. Jorge Lopez started the year with the Mets and had a very strange ending to his Mets career and getting ejected from a game. He threw his glove in the crowd as Moniak lines a base hit through.
A 96-mile-an-hour sinker. He brought the bat up and lined that. That was nearly 100. We'll have to readjust those exit velocities now this inning.
Well, damage has been done so far with the soft hits. Some walks. There have been 5 walks issued by the Cubs, plus 2 hit batsmen. So, and a ton of traffic on the bases here for the Angels as Zach Neto bats RBI single his last time on a check swing, and then he tossed in 2 stolen bases as well. So now 11 home runs and 14 steals for Neto on the year. Has a legitimate chance to have a 2020 season as he pops this one up. Nico Horner moves over and hangs on to win the inning.
You want to take a shot at the next level? Well, this is it. What you've been waiting for. All that work, the sweat, the sacrifice. It's not a question of can you do it, but can you do it when all eyes are on you? The greats know when it's time to shine. And your time is now.
National Showcase, baby, let's go!
It's the perfect game showcase where legends rise.
All right, men, I'm about to put you onto something incredible.
It's Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew? Blue Chew. Blue Chew. Blue Chew. Blue Chew.
And it helps men achieve stronger and longer lasting erections, which is pretty helpful. And it's an online service that delivers directly to your door, plus the first month is completely free. So why not try it? And yeah, chew it and do it. It's Blue Chew.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made, including this part, which is our favorite. Wow.
That's because they're nice and caffeinated this afternoon at Wrigley Field. The tradition among all rookies in Major League Baseball. Go in full uni, go across the street, get some donuts, get some Starbucks. A group of Jose Soriano, Jose Marte, Logan Ohapi, Zach Neto, Davis Daniel, Ben Joyce, Nolan Shawnuel, and Hans Kraus all making the trek albeit not very far, to the Starbucks. But it was organized by Carlos Esteves, who said he had to do it early in his career. Quick trip, because it's a lot different these days, guys. Starbucks is all order ahead now. Back in the day, you had to get the order, write it down on paper, then walk over to Starbucks in the full uni. The trip was less than 10 minutes, although the guys did say they had a great time doing it, and now they never have to do it again.
Well, that's cheating.
Yeah, they should have deleted that app for that one. Make them go over and do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, that's... Oh, you're not even allowed to do it. You have to order this way.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
Oh, you don't.
That did work for me today when I went there.
They can't just go. You can't just go in there and say what you want. They write it down and give it to you. They're not capable of that. It has to be through the app.
Looks that way.
1-2 on Patrick Wisdom. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Anderson gets his 5th strikeout of the day as Wisdom is retired for the 2nd time. That's 10 in a row set down by Anderson.
He's throwing the ball really well. I mean, you know, it's one of those things when you were a young player, a rookie, they made us one time, you know, it was a getaway day, of course, and we came to the ballpark, you know, thinking we're going to be styling at least a little bit, carrying our sport coats over our shoulder, but when we got back there after the game, they were all our clothes were locked up, and we had to wear some interesting clothes on the road trip. And being 11 feet tall, when you get clothes that are relatively short, it doesn't look real good on you, especially when you're going through an airport. It's a solid look, though.
Well, sure, it made you a better person.
Yes.
Ball 2 strikes on Cody Bellinger.
I remember you got a chance to do that to some of the younger players too, and I made sure they had some really nice fancy clothes. When you go to one of those outlets that have those vintage clothes, it really looks good on the young players.
Bellinger backs away from that side-arming fastball from Anderson. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Anderson has cut down 10 in a row, 5 with strikeouts. Not ordinarily getting a lot of strikeouts, but he has today.
That's a good
Should have
pitch.
been one more. Oh, it was strike 3 called. Well, that's a late call from Emil Jimenez, the home plate umpire.
Oh, it was a strike.
It was a strike. Bellinger, not sure why it took so long. That is the 6th strikeout for Tyler Anderson.
It's bringing the drama to it.
I mean, how long did he need to look at that pitch? You can see Bellinger react as Suzuki lifts a fly ball to right center field. Well, Tyler Anderson in 4 innings now has thrown just 46 pitches. And it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th for Anderson.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
Keep summer going when the Angels host the Mariners Saturday, July 13th, 6:30. The first 25,000 fans in attendance will receive a City Connect beach towel courtesy of Jersey Mike Subs. Visit angels.com/promotions for details. Lefty veteran Drew Smiley is on the mound as he tosses in a strike to Luis Guillorme. See Smiley's numbers as he's been pitching in relief. Started a bunch throughout his career as well. Well, Jose Miranda of the Minnesota Twins has made some baseball history today, getting base hits in his first 2 at-bats against the Astros. Miranda has now had hits in 12 straight at-bats, 12 for his last 12. That is tied the major league record.
It's going like Miranda Lambert. Kerosene on 5.
Bodie with a good play to retire Guillorme. I don't know where you're going with that, but I'm glad you found your way.
Yes, Miranda Lambert.
You know, Jose Miranda is related to Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes.
And also is a hit maker himself.
Hamilton.
Hamilton, yes. Yes, he has his eyes on Jose Miranda.
Yeah, I know you love your country music, so I had to go a little Miranda Lambert for you.
Well, the guy behind home plate there in the flag shirt will appreciate that. Joe Adell takes ball 1. So 3 other players had gone 12 for 12 at one point in their careers. Johnny Kling in 1902, Pinky Higgins 1938, and Walt Dropo in 1952.
That's some tremendous names.
Walt Dropo, he did that as a member in 1952 of the Tigers. He played for the White Sox for a little bit as well. It had not been done in the expansion era since 1961 when the Angels were the first expansion team. It's pretty amazing. 12 for 12, only 4 times it's ever happened before. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Joe Adell, batting against Smiley here in the 5th. It's 2-2. Yesterday, with this being a Friday afternoon game at Wrigley Field, all of the games were at night. Otherwise, in Major League Baseball, there are some day games happening today, so the scoreboard operator out in center field here at Wrigley gets to do some work today. And Joe Adell does some work on that one. A long way out to left center field. To the black of the bleachers it goes for Joe Adell. It was an absolute smash to left center and a 7-0 lead for the Angels.
In the Cub tradition, that baseball making its way almost back into the infield, but that baseball almost made it onto the scoreboard in left center field. 431 feet for Joe Adell. 110.2 off the bat for Joe Adell. Wow.
He's ready for the home run halo.
Oh, isn't he?
That ball was crushed by Joe Adell.
And a hug from Kevin Pillar. He goes, you know what? I got 10 years of service in right now. That home run is like 10 years of service right there.
Good arm on that fan in the bleachers, because that ball was to the very back part of the bleachers out there underneath.
I thought that was going to get a chance off the jumbotron there. I thought that had a real good shot at that.
Yeah, he had about 30 more feet to do it. It's happened a couple of times. Chris Bryant hit one off that video board out there. The 14th homer for Adell. It ties him for the team lead.
Joe Adell's mom and dad are here. I'm sure they're excited with that swing. A couple runs scored today for Joe. Scored when he walked the first at bat. That ball was crushed.
7-0. Strike to Shonowell. So there's a yellow tally now on the Angels' 5th inning on the scoreboard out there in center field. When the inning is in progress, they put up a yellow number. You see the yellow number 1 there. Then it's a white number when the inning ends.
Yeah, and you notice there's a number on there every inning so far for the Halos.
Shonowell, it's chopper to first base as Michael Bush flips to Smiley. He was a little late to cover, but 2 outs.
Down, he got a fastball, lower part of the strike zone. Smiley knew it. It's our Arco top-tier play. Smiley knew it. He just had to give a quick look to see how far that baseball went. And that went a long way, 431 feet.
And the pressure for that Cubs fan to throw it back, which he did. Justin Turner sitting here at the game today.
Well, it could have been Brandon Marsh, too, because they're good friends with Joe Adell. He said, here, have that baseball back in case you want that souvenir.
Keston Hera fouls one back. And the scoreboard showing the other games out there in center field, including the Yankees now leading Boston 14-4. Ben Rice has 3 homers and 7 RBIs today.
Going after Will Smith had 3 home runs for the Dodgers yesterday. What are we in hockey season with the hat trick?
Home runs are flying out of ballparks now that summer is sizzling throughout the country. 4 balls and 2 strikes on Keston Hera.
He's had a nice game himself. 2 for 3.
Face off there, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2 now on Hera. The Angels have scored in every inning today, so they have opened up a 7-0 lead. Saturday night might be starting a little early for the Cubs fans today. I think after the 7th inning stretch, if the score holds like this, they'll be
that'd be nice.
Rushing out to Wrigley Field.
That'd be all right. One easy getting down there with hearing all that song when the Cubs win a game yesterday for the post-game show with Erica.
I bet it wasn't. That ball's hit hard toward left field. Ian Happ moves over and makes the catch. Now this was a blast from Joe Adell. 431 feet for his 14th home run.
Talk about on a baseball and way out, Joe Adell.
Kevin Pillar proves on his day of celebrating 10 years in the big league.
Pete Alonso, franchise cornerstone, homegrown Met.
That's the guy you want to build your team around.
You know, Pete has turned into such an intelligent hitter.
If you hit it, it goes, that's for sure.
Oh, man, Pete got a hold of one.
There's not many guys who can do what he does from an offensive standpoint.
It's out of here, and the Mets win it! Into the second deck!
That ball was tattooed.
Polar Bear's a ribby machine.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home, where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
Sunday, baseball cards take center stage on MLB's Carded. Join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard. From vintage to modern, we've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
In every inning. Meanwhile, the Cubs have just 1 hit. It was from their leadoff batter in the first inning, Nico Horner. Since then, Tyler Anderson has retired 12 straight. It's Ian Happ leading off here in the bottom of the 5th.
This is when you want him up there with nobody on base. A couple of 2 RBI hits yesterday with 2 outs, both on changeups. So a couple of hits on changeups yesterday for Happ.
Happ is 7 for his last 11 with 8 RBIs. Grounds this one over to Luis Guillorme at third, and there's 1 away. As part of Throwback Week, Saturday, July 27th, the Angels host Oakland, and the first 25,000 fans will take home a Mike Trout throwback bobblehead, courtesy of Pachanga Resort Casino. Visit angels.com/promotions for more.
Good to see Trouty hitting the baseball at the Big A yesterday.
Game on the 27th. The next day, July 28th, will be a Sunday game at Angels Stadium between the Angels and the A's. That'll be the last game between the two teams, while the A's are known as the Oakland A's. 1 ball and 1 strike. There was a time when the Angels played the A's when they were still the Kansas City A's. Playing at Wrigley Field here today, the Angels had some games against the Kansas City A's. As Michael Busch lines a base hit, that breaks the string of 13 in a row retired by Tyler Anderson. But some of the first games played between the Angels and the A's happened at a ballpark called Wrigley Field, the Los Angeles version of it, where the Angels played their very first season. It had been a minor league stadium, the home of the PCL Angels. It was owned by the same Wrigley family that owned the Cubs and owned Wrigley Field here. And they built an LA version of Wrigley Field. Even had some ivy out there. And that's where the Angels played their home games in 1961. Dansby Swanson, the batter here, as he struck out his first time. He's 0 for his last 21. His average plummeting by the day. No balls, 2 strikes on Swanson, who struck out his first time.
Fastball he's late on. He was looking for a changeup. 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Tyler Anderson. You would think with that fastball there, now you have him set up to see if you get him to swing change off the edge.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Swanson strikes out for the second time.
That's another good change up from Anderson. 7 strikeouts in the game for Anderson today.
Well, that ties his season high. He had 7 in a game earlier this year against Baltimore. It was on April 24th. Wave and a miss by David Bodie.
That was even a better changeup from Tyler Anderson. He's gotten 4 ground ball outs today. He's at 8 swings versus his changeup and 6 swing and misses with his changeup.
He's been dominant here today, and meanwhile the Cubs on the other side have given up 7 runs on 9 hits to the Angels, including a long home run from Joe Adell. Ground ball softly hit. Neto charges, gets it to first. Tyler Anderson is rolling, and the Angels up big in Chicago.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
Want to elevate game night? Turn on MLB Big Inning, a revolutionary way to see the biggest moments from every game live and commercial-free.
There it is! A 40-70 season!
Find MLB Big Inning on the MLB.tv home screen. Then watch baseball's mega stars in the moments that matter most. It's a whole new ball game when the action comes to you. Game over! MLB Big Inning on MLB Network and MLB.tv.
Pregame box score with the Angels up and down the lineup producing, including a home run from Joe Adell from the number 9 spot. Every Angel except Guillorme's had a hit, but he's also had a walk and a stolen base. Good ball game here for the Angels today against the Cubs.
Yeah, there's been more traffic than the 101 back home for the Angels.
Wait till you experience the Kennedy going to the airport tomorrow.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one too. That'll be fun.
Taylor Ward leading off here in the 6th inning.
On base 3 times today.
2 walks, 2 runs scored for Ward, and a base hit early. It's this one hard. It's Bodie who knocks it down, stays with it, and gets it across in time. Drew Smiley on the mound for the Cubs out of the bullpen. Well, last year he was in the starting rotation, and he had a no-hit bid going until this little roller when Jan Gomes decided to climb on his back, and it turned into an infield hit.
That's a tough one to lose your no-no there. But both players wanted that baseball so bad you can't blame either one of them.
Drew Smiley is 35 years old. He was drafted out of the University of Arkansas in 2010 by Detroit. He was a relief pitcher early in his career. Then he started for a bit. Tommy John surgery, and he's kind of kicked around since then. He's had some decent years, and he's had some struggles as well. That game against the Dodgers last year was not only a no-hit bid, that was a perfect game bid that he had into the 8th inning before that little swinging bunt turned into a base hit and ruined the party.
Looking at that ivy, there's also people that there were little cutout areas where they were walking out from underneath the ivy today. It was like Kevin Pillar. Remember, he was part of that ivy for a second. He walked out there. Maybe that's how he's making his entrance into 10 years in the show.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Calhoun. Well, that ivy has seen a lot of things over the years. An iconic view here at Wrigley Field. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Calhoun. What Smiley was trying to do last year, no Cub has done at Wrigley since 1972. Throw a no-hitter in this ballpark. Milt Pappas is the last Cub to pitch a no-hitter here. Took a perfect game to the 9th inning. Had a 3-2 count on the 27th hitter. And a borderline pitch was called ball 4 by Bruce Fremming, the home plate umpire. And Pappas got the no-hitter on the next batter, but he lost the perfect game.
Yeah, you would think that sometimes the umpires are got that energy going themselves. They'd be part of history.
No, Bruce Fremming wanted no part of it that day.
Remember him always having that great call, third strike, too. That would have been an epic one.
Well, Milt Pappas never forgave him. Willie Calhoun draws a walk. It's the 6th issued by the Cubs today. With 1 out, Logan O'Hoppe will bat after we hear from Jack in the Box.
All these munchies are under $4 each. At Jack, every bite's a big deal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
There's a strike to O'Hoppe, who has 2 RBIs today. Hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, run scoring single in the 3rd. Into a double play his last time. That brought a run home as well.
Trying to keep that scoring streak alive here.
Angels have scored in every inning after having just 1 run over their previous 27 innings entering today. Right, this is a weird game at the end of the day.
It's yes.
You never know how it's going to go or how things will change from one day to the next with all the same players that you just saw the day before.
That's why I think it's really, when it goes down to the beauty of baseball, where things could change so quickly, even when you're getting some breaks finally.
Strike 3 call to O'Hoppe. Didn't even really wait around for The strike three call from Emil Jimenez, 2 outs. Now the batter will be Moniak, who's 1 for 3 with a base hit. If Ron Washington will try to get Pilar in this game before it's over. Angels have not scored in 5 straight innings to start a game since April 30th, 2019, a game against the Mariners, May 30th of that year. Ground ball scooped by Horner. And the Angels don't score in the 6th.
Want to elevate game night? Turn on MLB Big Inning, a revolutionary way to see the biggest moments from every game live and commercial free.
There it is! A 40-70 season!
Find MLB Big Inning on the MLB.tv home screen. Then watch baseball's mega stars in the moments that matter most. It's a whole new ball game when the action comes to you.
Game over!
MLB Big Inning on MLB Network and MLB.tv.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
This is your captain speaking. We'd like to welcome you on board MLB The Show 24. Where gamers can play as their favorite baseball teams, create custom players, and even relive history with some of baseball's greatest legends. Now, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Can I play? Rated E for everyone.
Replay to take you back to an Angels drubbing of the Cubs July 10th, 2013. Teeing off on Jeff Samardzija.
A great football player back in his day too in college.
Cubs drafted Samardzija, gave him a major league contract to keep him out of the NFL. Samardzija's thought was, well, you know, keep my body intact, playing on a major league mound as opposed to playing in the NFL as a wide receiver.
Yeah, slightly less wear and tear.
Yes, probably a smart move by Mr. Samardzija. As Tomas Nido waves through another good changeup from Tyler Anderson. We've seen those all day.
And another swing and miss versus his changeup.
Nido, it's a ground ball. We've seen a lot of those today too. Easy for Neto, and there's 1 out.
Boy, Tyler Anderson has been rocking and rolling this afternoon so far. His changeup getting some swing and miss, 7 punch outs in the game, but he's also got a lot of ground ball action, soft contact. He's been all around the edges throughout this game. Little different arm angles also, and Buddy Belger still doesn't believe that was a strike. But I believe it was a strike.
Yeah, it was a strike. I wonder if he just thought it took too long. Maybe Bellinger has a timer in his head for how long the umpire needs to take. 1 out as the batter is Horner, who has one of the 2 Cubs hits.
6 ground ball outs for Tyler Anderson today. He's a little under 36% ground ball rate this season, so he's not a big ground ball pitcher, but he's been working that ground ball today, especially in this ballpark and the wind blowing out to left. That's a good formula.
Three balls and no strikes. Anderson hasn't walked anybody today. He's rarely fallen behind. You know, Horner is one of the few batters he fell behind to begin the game. There's a strike.
He's coming into this inning, he's faced 17 batters, 14 first pitch strikes. Complete opposite what we saw for Griffin Canning yesterday. He struggled to throw a first pitch strike. After the last game, he was dominant on that. Wow. That might get Craig Counts a little bit upset. Now that might have been, that was definitely a ball.
About a foot looked like upstairs.
And a lot of times we credit the catcher on that one, but that's just no. Logan O'Hoppy's good at that, but not quite that good.
Well, Nico Horner grew a little bit since last night.
So that's Aaron Judge's strike zone.
Yorme with the quick transfer on the out to first.
And it's an automatic. You have to swing the next pitch, and that was out of the strike zone.
2 up, 2 down. Nothing from Craig Counsell really there. There's been some fans around here that kind of hope that Craig Counsell would say a little bit more or react a little bit more. He's not really that type of manager, though. 2 up, 2 down as Patrick Wisdom looks at ball 1. The series will finish up here tomorrow as Jose Soriano will get the start. Hayden Wesneski will pitch for the Cubs.
We've had some managers with a little bit of an edge over the years here, from Joe Madden, Pat Corrales, Dallas Green way back in the day. Those guys were pretty fiery.
Lou Piniella when he was here.
Yes. He had some of the best ever as far as when he didn't agree with a call.
Well, Lee Elia took this whole fan base to task in a memorable rant after a game 40 years ago or so. "90% of the world is at work. The other 10% is here."
That may not be a good thing to say.
Oh, well. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Wisdom, who has struck out twice already today. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It is a new season high, 8 strikeouts for Tyler Anderson.
Pete Alonso, franchise cornerstone, homegrown Met. That's the guy you want to build your team around.
You know, Pete has turned into such an intelligent hitter.
If you hit it, it goes, that's for sure.
Oh, man, Pete got a hold of one.
There's not many guys who can do what he does from an offensive standpoint.
It's out of here, and the Mets win it! Into the second deck!
That ball was tattooed.
Polar Bear's a ribby machine.
Sunday, baseball cards take center stage on MLB's Carded. Join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard. From vintage to modern, we've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
All Angels here today at Wrigley Field as they have busted up the Cubs to a 7-0 lead. Into the 7th inning now as a lot of Angels fans have made the trip to Chicago for the weekend.
Rolling up his sleeves in that City Connect.
Gotta get a good tan out there in the bleachers. Yeah, it is always a sun-filled bleachers here at Wrigley Field. Now the shadows will creep over the first and third base side seats as they go along throughout the afternoon. But the bleachers, they'll stay in the sun until late in the day. Ethan Roberts is the new pitcher for the Cubs. Roberts was a 4th-round pick out of Tennessee Tech some years ago and was able to make his major league debut in 2022. 3rd big league appearance this year for Roberts. Zach Neto leads off the 7th inning.
The fastball is going to be about 90-95, curveball and a slider.
When Roberts made his major league debut here a couple of years ago, he was wearing number 21. And it's irritating that the Cubs have kind of treated the legacy of Sammy Sosa, and it comes with some clouds, certainly. Here's a fly ball toward the right field corner. Suzuki makes a basket catch in Sammy's old position out there in right field. But, you know, for all of the attention and that Sammy Sosa brought the Cubs and the way things took off around here because of what Sammy did, the Giants still celebrate Barry Bonds, and the Cardinals still celebrate Mark McGwire, and it's just unusual to me, and upsetting even, I'm sure, to many Cubs fans that they don't really celebrate Sammy Sosa.
I mean, and if you got a chance to meet him at all, he was a great guy to be around.
Ron Washington loved having Sammy as a Texas Ranger near the end of his career there. Luis Guillorme dumps one to shallow left, and that's a base hit.
So now everyone with a hit here today.
All 9 Angels in the lineup have put together a base hit. Experience Angels baseball at the Coca-Cola Friends and Family Fun Pack. For only $44, get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 soft drinks. For more information regarding the Coca-Cola Friends and Family Fun Pack, visit angels.com/funpack. Here's Joe Adell. He had his own fun pack when he cracked a home run, 431 feet his last time up.
You know, the beauty of the game of baseball, when Zach Neto hit his baseball, and I thought that was going to be a double for sure, 96.5 miles per hour off the bat, caught by Suzuki, and then Guillorme just flares it in there at a little over 70% exit velocity. It's the beauty of the game of baseball.
A lot of the hits from the Angels today have been flares that have fallen in. Not Adell's, though, as he takes ball 1. This ball is rocketing.
This is a 110 off the bat. Crushed it. Well, I'd love to see him just get hot. Swing like that, how short that was, and the connection with that pitch downstairs. Mentioned mom and dad here today. They had to be thrilled seeing that.
14 homers now. Adell tied for the team lead. Lifts this one out toward right field. Shallow. Suzuki battles the sun and makes the catch. 2-away. Even with the Cubs down 7-0, they'll still belt out "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here in a minute or two. And I think some American Idol singers over there.
Would that be you, Wayne?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you're my idol, so that.
Well, that is just wonderful to hear.
Yes.
Here's Nolan Shawnoel, who's had a weird day. He's walked, he has singled, he's been hit by a pitch. He got hit by a pitch on the same foot that he had fouled a ball off of. He had tripped twice running the bases.
Well, you just think of the Cubs, you think of Bill Murray, and you think of the movie Stripes with, you know, Sergeant Hogan, big toe. I mean, his big toe has got to be hurting today.
Yes, I would imagine so. No balls and a strike on Shawnoel. And a line drive, base hit to the opposite field. Another hit for Shawnoel, his second today.
4 times on base.
And 2 on with 2 out, and Hera will be the batter.
Stayed on the baseball, going the other way. That's his swing, that short one. That's when he goes inside out on the baseball. So you hear that terminology, staying in on the baseball. Did a great job as far as that. So the last 11 games, 6 multi-hit games for Shawnoel.
Keston Hera has had a multi-hit game today as he lines this one out toward right center field. Bellinger gets turned around a bit, but he makes the catch as he recovers to end the inning.
Want to elevate game night? Turn on MLB Big Inning, a revolutionary way to see the biggest moments from every game live and commercial free.
There it is, a 46 '70 season.
Find the MLB Big Inning on the MLB.tv home screen. Then watch baseball's mega stars in the moments that matter most. It's a whole new ball game when the action comes to you.
Game over.
MLB Big Inning on MLB Network and MLB.tv.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
Angels Baseball and Valley Sports brought to you by Nissan. Buckle up for an epic test drive at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event. And by Spectrum. Get Spectrum Internet, mobile, and TV. Visit Spectrum.com for details. Lauren Elena saying, take me out to the ball game today.
Country singer. You know that. You know that.
2 first names. You think that's a real name?
She did a great job. I know that.
Cody Bellinger swings and misses. I think she was on American Idol. I think that's who that was. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bellinger. Leading off here in the bottom of the 7th against Tyler Anderson, who has thrown only 74 pitches now into the 7th inning. So he's on target for another long outing. He's had a bunch get through 7 so far this year.
Bellinger made a nice play on that. Hera, that was a rocket hit his way. Almost got over his head. It was about 104 miles per hour off the bat. Keston, he's been at a really good game, hitting the ball hard.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Bellinger. Well, that's what Hera was doing at AAA. So if he can keep that up here at the major league level, the Angels will be pleased with that. There's a ball hit toward Hera playing second base today.
We knew we were talking about it.
Bellinger bounces out. So 1 away here in the 7th. Now if Anderson gets 2 more outs, he will be his 7th outing this year, making it through 7 innings. That would be the most in the American League.
And we've seen a couple of these games against the Halos lately where efficient pitch counts too. This is at 76 right now.
It's been going the opposite way against the Angels. Joey Estes threw a Maddox against the Angels earlier in the week. A shutout in less than 100 pitches. And Justin Steele needed just 95 to whiz through the Halos yesterday, giving up just a run on 2 hits. The Angels have scored 7 today, and it's Tyler Anderson pounding through a lineup. And Suzuki takes ball 1. Anderson has not walked anybody, has a season high 8 strikeouts. He's only given up 2 singles.
He's throwing a ton of first pitch strikes too.
There's another bouncing ball. Luis Guillorme, a strong throw. 2 up, 2 down. Major League Baseball is taking over Texas with the game's biggest events. The action begins the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 15th at 5 p.m. Pacific. Then catch the 94th Major League Baseball All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 16th at 4 o'clock Pacific on Fox. Anderson, Ohapi, Estevez are the top candidates now. Luis Rengifo probably won't be considered as he has been placed on the IL. Wouldn't be eligible to play now in the All-Star game.
When you think about what he has done, batting average over 300 with 20+ stolen bases, only him and Bobby Witt Jr. doing that.
Well, this has been quite an outing for Anderson to kind of stamp his All-Star game candidacy. Those rosters being announced tomorrow. This has been one of the better outings we've seen all year from a guy who has pitched to the tune of an ERA under 3 this season.
Yeah, you can't discount that ERA right now, where he's at a 2.85. You see that opponent's batting average continue to dip. Coming in the game was 2.16. 2 hits allowed so far today.
The Cubs have not even had a man get into scoring position today. Horner singled to lead off the first. Bush with 1 out in the 5th, and neither man even advanced 90 feet from there. So there's been Tyler Anderson in a great showing today. He's a strike away from getting through 7 innings for the 7th time this year. Ian Happ takes ball 2.
That's a good try. I mean, he's been able to get some swing and misses and strikeouts with his fastball too, having hitters look for an all-speed pitch and then run a fastball upstairs.
Roller foul from Happ to stay alive. Angels trying to break their 5-game losing streak today after having won 6 in a row. Cubs have won 2 in a row. They have not had a 3-game winning streak since late April. As Happ inside outs, one toward first. Shotwell grabs it, and Anderson has made it through 7 scoreless innings at Wrigley Field.
Sunday, baseball cards take center stage on MLB's Carded. Join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard, from vintage to modern. We've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network. From the day's first pitch to the night's final out, MLB Network sets the stage for fans every day.
So it'll be interesting to watch what happens here
all season long. See the players who are making a statement.
Hey, let's check out the board, folks.
With live games every week.
Inside the park we go.
Cutting-edge baseball chatter. Plus highlights, analysis, and live look-ins on MLB Tonight. MLB Network. The game is the star.
This is your captain speaking. We'd like to welcome you on board MLB The Show 24. Where gamers can play as their favorite baseball teams, create custom players, and even relive history with some of baseball's greatest legends. Now, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Can I play? Rated E for everyone.
Offense going. Don't be overly aggressive. They've seen 4.00 pitches per plate appearance today. Previous 3 under 3.5. So a little more patience and think middle of field. 6 of the 11 hits today, middle or to the opposite field. Solid approaches by the Halos today. Getting this lead here into the 8th inning. And also, Tyler Anderson has been great when he got those 2 outs. Quickly has gotten the 3rd out.
It's Taylor Ward leading off here in the 8th inning against Ethan Roberts, who is the 5th different Cubs pitcher today. Kyle Hendricks only lasted 2 innings and then had to leave the game because of back tightness. Colton Brewer gave up 3 runs in the 3rd. Jorge Lopez allowed a run, so did Drew Smiley, and now Roberts pitching here in the 8th inning. Count is 2 balls and a strike on Ward, who has been tied by Joe Adell for the most home runs on the team, with Adell hitting his 14th today. Washington with a quick start on the Cardinals today, 4-0, as Lance Lynn's allowed a couple of first inning homers in that one.
Kind of breaks your heart a little bit, doesn't it?
I think everybody in this ballpark's fine with that.
Yeah, I would think so. They're friendly rivals, the Cubs and the Cardinals, aren't they?
Going to play each other in St. Louis next weekend. Cardinals are in the wild card mix. Cubs have kind of fallen back. As Taylor Ward drives one to right center, Bellinger got a good jump, makes the catch.
Well, he has some coverage in the outfield, Bellinger. Gold Glove winner in the past in right field.
Been playing some first base this year, really last couple of years for the Cubs. They have a good young center fielder named Pete Crow Armstrong that we have not seen yet in this series. He got kind of roughed up on a slide the other day. Some cut on his head. Needed some stitches, and he has not played yet in this series. Cut was actually on his thumb as he was spiked trying to steal third base. So a cleat on the thumb. And
it's a stolen base machine.
So move on. I have not seen Crow Armstrong yet. Maybe tomorrow.
Soriano on the bump tomorrow.
It'll be his second start since coming off the IL. Pitched in Oakland at the beginning of this road trip.
Took it up to about 85 pitches, I think. 65 was the limit last time out. Had a really good first 3 innings before struggling in the 4th.
He retired 10 of the first 11 that he had faced in that game, and then gave up a couple of home runs in the 4th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Calhoun. Count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Another pretty solid game for Willie Calhoun. A base hit, he had a walk, at least base on an error.
A solid game for pretty much everybody in the Angels lineup. All 9 players have had hits today. 11 total. Just 1 extra base hit, and it was a long one from Joe Adell.
So contact and singles are okay. You can still score runs that way.
If you string them together, you certainly can. Cubs
defense helped out too. The Cubs defense, some walks too.
6 walks, 2 hit batsmen, so a lot of extra base runners today. Jose Miranda finally made an out, so his streak ends at 12 straight base hits. Here's Calhoun bidding for a base hit, but Ian Happ runs over to make the catch. Join your Angels for every Saturday night home game. Stay to enjoy a post-game Saturday night fireworks show driven by your helpful SoCal Honda dealers. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details.
Felt like that carry out the left field took away a hit from Willie Calhoun. That ball just stayed up and carry more. So off the bat, it looked like it was going to find that outfield grass for another hit for him. He carried out the Happy, ran it down. A little bit of Hoppy if he gets a hold of one and can get that carry. What's he hit that one? What was it, 467?
There's the one in San Francisco. Hoppy teed off on. No balls, 2 strikes here as Logan has 2 RBIs today and a run scored. He's caught a masterpiece from Tyler Anderson on top of it. Anderson has been outstanding today. There's a fly ball out toward left center field. Bellinger's after it, moving toward the gap as he slides. It can't reach it. It's a base hit. Ian Happ fires it in from the warning track, but it's a double for Logan O'Hoppe.
Some weird carry on that one too. See where Bellinger's playing. It looked like he was going to get there. The run that went down and just slid in there, unable to get there. Another extra base hit for Logan O'Hoppe. 13th double, going with 12 home runs and a triple. 2 hits today. Makes that bid. Find out tomorrow for the All-Star game.
And there's Mickey Moniak, 1 for 4 with a base hit. Between O'Hoppe and the Red Sox Connor Wong, that's probably where the 3rd catcher in the American League will come from. Wong has had a very good year as well for Boston, hitting .316. He's in more of a timeshare catching with Reese McGuire. So If you look at the innings caught, it's a huge difference between O'Hoppe and Wong. Ball hit well by Moniak, but foul. Entering today, Connor Wong has caught 462 innings, whereas O'Hoppe has caught 605.
That's pretty significant. A lot of wear and tear behind the plate.
Caught stealing percentages are pretty similar as Moniak gets a fly ball out to left center. Bellinger moves over and back, and he has that to end the inning.
So that's how they're so productive. They use Fiverr. Look how quickly they find freelancers. So simple.
Yeah, but why are they working in the dark?
Grow your business easily with freelancers. Fiverr.
How many pairs of Tecovas boots is too many pairs? Not sure. How much fun is too much fun? Find your next pair or two at Tecovas.
Learning to invest with Greenlight has really paid off.
Huh. Reminds me of how I learned about investing. Yeah, I never learned about investing.
Is there water in this thing?
Bring your family into the financial future.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy.
What?
And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too!
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Want to elevate game night? Turn on MLB Big Inning, a revolutionary way to see the biggest moments from every game, live and commercial-free. Find it on the MLB.tv home screen. MLB Big Inning on MLB Network and MLB.tv.
There's joy in every journey. By Jack in the Box, the Munchies have met their match. Try Jack's Munchies under $4 today. And by the OC Healthcare Agency, navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. Excellent performance from Tyler Anderson today, and he's on the mound for the 8th.
10 ground ball outs, matching a season high. Strikeouts, a season high with 8. His 2 hits allowed so far through 7 masterful innings pitched here by Tyler Anderson.
Only 2 base hits, one of them from Michael Busch, who leads off here in the 8th inning. Nico Horner has the other, and neither of those men got to second base, so there has not been a man in scoring position all day for the Cubs. Well, the Angels have 7 runs on 12 hits. They've really dominated both sides of the ball today. Trying to even up this series at a game apiece. One more day game here tomorrow, and then back home for the next week until the All-Star break, as the Angels will have 7 straight home games to finish up their pre-All-Star break schedule. Today is actually the anniversary of the first ever All-Star game, July 6th, 1933, on the south side of Chicago. It took place at Comiskey Park. And if you're wondering how they chose Comiskey over Wrigley for the first ever All-Star game, they flipped a coin.
They flipped a coin, huh?
2-1 on Busch. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. The White Sox were awarded the first ever All-Star game via coin flip. They knew they wanted it here. They just didn't know which one. So
that was an interesting stadium, by the way.
The old Comiskey.
Oh yeah, the dugouts. You look out, it feels like the field was well below the dugout area. Couldn't even see the outfielders.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Busch as we flash you back. The first ever All-Star game. There it is, old Comiskey Park. Babe Ruth hit a home run. The American League beat the National League 4-2 in the first ever All-Star game. There's the homer from the Bambino. Well, Carl Hubble had his own place in the next year's All-Star game, striking out Babe Ruth, 1934 All-Star game. And this year will be the 94th as Tyler Anderson has another strikeout, punching out Michael Busch.
Yeah, that's paint right on the outside corner with a fastball at 90. That's a really good job by Logan O'Hoppe. Just enough to make sure he presented it well. And that's a strike.
The 50th anniversary of the first All-Star game. They went back to Comiskey Park, 1983. And that's when Fred Lynn hit a grand slam.
Off of Atlee Hammaker, as I remember.
In an Angels uniform, Fred Lynn accomplished that feat, which has never been done before or since a grand slam in the All-Star game.
Well, we had our Halo history lesson today with Fred Lynn's catch up against the wall. Brian Downing running him down too. So Superman running into Fred Lynn. He made that great catch and slammed into the wall. You can never have enough of Fred Lynn in a conversation today.
Brian Downing, who the Angels got from the White Sox in a trade. It all comes together.
Yes, it does.
It's come together for Tyler Anderson today as he gets to a 2-2 count on Swanson.
He's already punched him out twice today. Looking for double digits.
Now would tie a career high. He's had 3 10-strikeout games in his career. Last time he did it, October of 2022. Swing and a miss, and there is the 10th strikeout for Tyler Anderson, tying a career high.
Change up again. Talk about dealing. Tyler Anderson is dealing.
Swanson has struck out 3 times. Now David Bodie with a line drive to center field. That's a base hit. So it's the 3rd hit for the Cubs today. A 2-out single here in the bottom of the 8th brings up Tomas Nido. Anderson nearing 100 pitches, so this 8th inning is probably his last.
Pretty amazing. He's the second pitcher this year to have 10 strikeouts and 10 ground ball outs. Singer, the only other. It's like Ben Joyce getting ready. I mean, I can only imagine the sound back there in that bullpen. Oh, yes. Got me. Wow.
Anderson had an 8-inning performance in Houston on May 22nd. And he's about to get through 8 innings today. Luis Guillorme throws out Tomas Nido. Tyler Anderson, 10 strikeouts, tying his career high.
ED has affected my confidence. My wife, Sherry, says it doesn't matter, but it matters to me. I found Hims. The app is easy. It's on my phone. I can order anytime I want. Hims has been the difference in my confidence.
It was better for both of us.
Get treatment for ED with doctor-trusted medication. Get started today at hims.com.
Have you heard? Soda's not a dirty word anymore. Introducing Poppy, the best thing to happen to lemon lime since, well, lemons and limes. It's the iconic, refreshing flavor you crave, but with 3 grams of sugar. Real lemon, real lime, real juicy flavor. The future of soda is now, and it's called Poppy. Poppy, soda's back.
When it comes to tickets, pick TickPick. You're picking the best prices guaranteed, with no hidden fees ever. Pick from thousands of live events. No hidden fees, more savings. Download the TickPick app.
Join the million-plus fans who have made game days more entertaining by playing along on Underdog. Basketball fans from all over the United States have won over $1 billion. Underdog Fantasy, calling all dogs.
I can tell you how much you spent on takeout, and it's a lot.
You could track my spending by category. 1, weird. 2, how?
Rocket Money.
Go on.
It's a finance app.
Scoreless innings with a career high, tying 10 strikeouts.
Incredible. 11 ground ball outs, which is a season high for him too. What a performance. No walks too with 10 punchies.
Here's the new Cubs pitcher. It is Tyson Miller out of Shadow Hills High School in Indio, California, where only one other major leaguer has come from. That's Taylor Ward. Miller has done a nice job for the Cubs in 26 games this year. Started the season with Seattle, was traded to the Cubs in the middle of May. Cubs needed some bullpen help. They still need a lot more of it. We've seen a lot of their relievers today, and the Angels scored off all of them except for Ethan Roberts, but he gave up 3 hits in his 2 innings. Zach Neto leads off here in the 9th inning against Miller.
What a job by Tyler Anderson today, going back to getting those 2 outs quickly and finishing off Cubs hitters once he gets those 2 outs. That's why you see this 97 pitches thrown for Anderson through 8 shutout innings. First Angels pitchers since Andrew Heaney in 2018 to have 10 punch outs and 11 ground ball outs in the game. So outfielders, you were pretty quiet today.
10 strikeouts, 10 ground outs, and 10 years for Kevin Pillar. It's all about the numbers here today.
Yes, it is.
Zach Neto with a full count. Hits it hard, but Swanson able to grab it. And Bush holds the bag, 1 away in the 9th inning. Angels Live, presented by OC Navigator, is coming up next. A full breakdown of this one, as the Angels have been all over the Cubs here this afternoon. Zach Neto getting a chance before the game today to talk to Dansby Swanson a little bit. Ron Washington says he was thinking of this to be a big introduction, but they've met before. So
no, the best thing about it was Luis was like, he came over and goes, okay, that's enough of that conversation. I got to get some work going. So I was just dying laughing. He goes, come on, that's enough.
Well, you know, the bearded magician needs his time on the
Yes,
infield.
he does.
Luis Guillorme has a base hit and a walk today, and also a stolen base.
Yes, I know we'll be talking about that stolen base more than anything else, and he's been great at the 3rd base today.
He's going to call his former teammate Tomas Nido in the middle of the night and wake him up. Say, hey, remember when I stole that base off you at Wrigley Field?
And then a quick hang up.
Now, that's the way to do it. Ball 2 strikes on Guillorme, as the Angels will need 3 more outs to break this 5-game losing streak. The thing that's happened throughout this losing streak is the Angels have not had great starting pitching. 8.57 ERA in those 5 games. And Tyler Anderson reversed that course today. Guillorme lifts a fly ball toward Bellinger. Looks like Ben Joyce will finish this one. Sure, he's had a nice time in downtown Chicago, naming all the monuments and landmarks.
He didn't like you saying that right there. You hear that sound of that bit?
There's plenty of them. And
yes, there is.
The city of Chicago, Ben Joyce can go around and identify all of them. What is that, Lake Huron out there? Now wait, on second I've been told it's Lake Michigan.
I just said it's a body of water out there. You're good.
It is a great lake. 1 ball, 1 strike on Joe Adell. Adell had a good laugh earlier today. He was able to strike a long home run. Bleachers have emptied out a bit. Cubs have had a rough showing here today, and the Angels continuing on what's been a rough go for the Cubs really since the end of April. This will be a record of 24-40 since the Cubs had reached their high watermark for the year when they were 17-9. They got off to a really good start, and after what was a performance last season that saw them get very close to a playoff spot. In fact, if it weren't for a poor September, they would have made the playoffs. Fans around here thought they were the best team in the National League Central. It turns out they might be the worst one. They're in last place.
Still a lot of baseball left. Nobody thought the way Arizona was playing, they were going to work their way to the World Series last year. Same thing with the Phillies the year before. So there's a lot of baseball left for everyone.
There certainly is. And a lot to sort out in both leagues. As we get closer to the All-Star break, a little bit past the halfway point in the season now. Oakland A's are all over Baltimore today. 6-0 with the A's in front. James Wood has just hit his first major league home run for the Nationals off of Lance Lynn.
That's a talented young player, and he's big. Checking in on Oakland just to make sure Rooker. Well, of course he homered.
We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. All Angels today, 7-0.
Fernando Tatis. This guy is a package of dynamite. He's the best.
Oh, he made the catch!
This guy's putting on a display.
At his best, he makes the game so much fun to watch.
What doesn't he do?
I think he's the most popular player.
He just got flair.
He's gonna steal home! You are a cartoon character! Come on!
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
It's time for MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Host a local event and give kids in your community a chance to compete in the Pitch, Hit, and Run finals at the 2024 MLB World Series. Sign up for free at pitchhitrun.com.
Saturday in the park. Well, that one's out of the park by Joe Adell. 7 runs for the Halos today. Everyone with a base hit. And Tyler Anderson flat out dealt 8 shutout innings today for the Halos. Looking to get game 2 of this series against the Cubs. Up 7-0 here in the 9th inning with Ben Joyce coming in.
We haven't seen Ben Joyce on the mound in a week as the Angels started that losing streak, and his games have not been all that winnable, so we haven't seen Joyce, and now he'll pitch this one with a big lead. He has been fantastic ever since developing that new splinker that he's been throwing.
Oh, that's so good. Got 97 on that one, and you got the 4-seamer at 102, 103, and a slider.
The Angels will just hope that he can get 3 quick outs here and be done with this one. The Angels have a 7-0 lead. They've led from the very beginning. Nico Hoerner fouls off the first pitch. Hoerner has a base hit. The Cubs only managed 3 in 8 innings against Tyler Anderson, who reaches his season high in innings pitched, is tying his career high in strikeouts with 10.
Imagine you're a hitter today, the afternoon game here. You go from facing Tyler Anderson with that great changeup, cutter, and fastball 89, 90. Then you're facing somebody throwing a million.
Hoerner flips one to left center field and has a base hit. So that's his 2nd hit today.
But staying on that heater.
Cubs still have not had a man in scoring position all day, and maybe they'll get one here as Hoerner's on to begin the bottom of the 9th. Miles Mastrobuoni will pinch hit for Patrick Wisdom. Probably just as well for Wisdom, who struck out 3 times against Tyler Anderson. Mastrobuoni had a big day yesterday, making a lot of great defensive plays at third base. Had a double in the game yesterday as well. Lifts this one to left. Taylor Ward is in position. First pitch out from Mastrobuoni. 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th. Well, yesterday we saw Justin Steele work a complete game. Today Tyler Anderson 8 dominant innings, falling just short of a complete game. You know, your rookie year, 15% of games included a complete game from the starting pitcher. So far this year, that number is 0.6%.
Wow. That's why it's so special. You saw the reaction by Steele. You saw it by Estes the other day. When you get a chance to be able to finish off a game and be able to shake the catcher's hand and be out there to celebrate a complete game is something special.
Joey Estes became the youngest A's pitcher to ever have a Maddox in a game. Yesterday, Steele, his first career complete game. Anderson very good though today. 10 strikeouts, 8 innings. His ERA now 2.81 for the year. We'll see if he gets the all-star call that Justin Steele got last year. 1-1 strike on Bellinger as he hits a high fly to right. If this one stays in play as it ends up off the screen. One ball, 2 strikes on Bellinger. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ben Joyce with 103.
Wow.
Blows it by Bellinger.
Now that's a four-seamer. You give up that one hit here to start the inning. That was on a slider, but that four-seamer at 103 with some ride to it. Anyway, on a day that started with a celebration of Kevin Pillar 10 years in the show today. The show that his teammates have put on. That leadership skill he has. Well, Washington talks about that a lot. You've seen that on display here.
Yeah, that was a full 103 too. 103.1 on the radar gun from Ben Joyce. Here is Suzuki.
Not quite the coast 103.5, but close to it though.
0-2 as Suzuki couldn't hold his swing. Tyler Anderson in line for his 8th win. A 2.81 ERA. See if he's on that all-star roster tomorrow.
That's a tremendous ERA. I mean, that's now even up his record. 8 wins, 8-8, if he can hold on here. Feeling this baseball might be thrown pretty hard here.
Trying to finish it up here at Wrigley today. Angels looking for the shutout against the Cubs. That one just off the plate was a slider that Suzuki didn't go after. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one goes to the backstop, so opportunity for a Cub to get into scoring position for the first time today as Horner goes to second with 2 outs in the 9th.
Pretty good. The fans noticed that too, giving a little cheer for that.
Well, they have their heads in the game here. Angels looking for their 5th shutout of the season. And there's strike 3 called. Saying goodnight to the Cubs as Ben Joyce finishes it off with a strikeout. Tyler Anderson punched out 10 in his 8 innings. He gets the victory as the Angels were all over the Cubs at Wrigley today. A 7-0 final.
Just an impressive game. When you need that game, put it all together. It all starts with your starting pitcher, Tyler Anderson, with his 8th victory of the season. Joe Adell with a home run. All 9 batters today for the Halos with a knock. What an all-around performance. Defense was great. They had to be on their toes. 11 ground ball outs today for Tyler Anderson.
Well, the Angels win this one with ease as they scored a bunch early, putting up runs in each of the first 5 innings. Joe Adell hit a home run. Tyler Anderson did all the work on the mound. And he is our Toyota player of the game. He tied his career high with 10 strikeouts, and he was brilliant throughout this one.
Boy, he had his fastball going. punch out with fastballs at 90, the cutter, changeup. That's been great all season long, and he threw a lot of strikes, a lot of first strikes in the game. Just a dominant performance, 17 of 26 batters he threw a first pitch strike. What a job.
Angels able to even up this series at a game apiece, as Anderson was excellent today. A chance for a road series win here tomorrow at Wrigley, as Jose Soriano will look to be on the back end of this one to finish up this series. Tyler Anderson, after his outstanding outing today, standing by with Erica Weston.
TA, brilliant performance by you today. You allowed a leadoff hit, then retired 13 in a row before another runner reached base. What does it feel like when you're in a groove like that on the mound?
For me, today was the day that Kevin Pillar had 10 years, so we had a little speech before the game. And for me, it just kind of re-inspired me. And the way you get to where you are is by your mentality. And so just from that, I tried to take that and just the whole game just try to attack and play one pitch at a time, which is what I've done for a long time and kind of got away from.
Did the mentality help when you had the 10 strikeouts today, ties a career high? Was that something that you were noticing as this game went on?
No, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was just trying to get ahead as much as I could.
The road starts for you. You've won your last 4. Is there something for you about pitching on the road? You've been so good all season, but is there anything about doing it on the road?
No, I don't think so. I think early on in my career, I know the first few years I was always better at home than I was on the road. And so years ago, I just made a conscious adjustment to try to be as good as I could on the road. And fortunately this year it's worked out that way so far.
The All-Star team, the rest of it will be announced tomorrow. You've certainly made a case to be deserving to be there in Texas in a couple of weeks. Not saying I want you to make your case because you've already done that, but how do you feel about the way you pitched the first half of the season?
Honestly, I don't really care. It's a cool honor if you can make it, but really, I just want to try to give our guys a chance every day to compete.
Thanks for the time, TA. Nice job.
Thanks.
All right, guys.
All right, Erica, thank you. It was a win for the Angels today, 7-0 against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. We'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
Best player on the planet.
I love watching Mookie play
on the Hall of Fame highway.
It's a blessing to have those expectations.
Goodness! And that one is gonna go! Mookie Betts, what a monster!
Got some more unfinished business to take care of.
Are you kidding me?
I try and do the best that I can in anything that I can control.
Nothing on a baseball field that Mookie Betts does not excel at. Mookie Magic!
Nothing against the Cubs. Tyler Anderson dominating today, and the Angels putting up some runs early to even up this series at a game apiece. They'll try to make it 2 out of 3 here at Wrigley tomorrow. Angels Live, presented by Nissan, will start at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Stay tuned. Angels Live postgame is next, presented by OC Healthcare Agency with Erica Weston and Mark Gubiza. For Gubi and Erica, I'm Wayne Randazzo saying good night from Chicago.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices.
Tatis.
This guy is a package of dynamite. He's the best.
Oh, he made the catch!
This guy's putting on a display.
At his best, he makes the game so much fun to watch.
What doesn't he do? I think he's the most popular player.
He just got flair.
He's gonna steal home! You are a cartoon character! Come on!
Want to elevate game night? Turn on MLB Big Inning, a revolutionary way to see the biggest moments from every game, live and commercial-free. Find it on the MLB.tv home screen. MLB Big Inning on MLB Network and MLB.tv.
In impressive fashion this afternoon behind a brilliant performance by that guy right there, Tyler Anderson, as we say hello on this post-game edition of Angels Live presented by OC Navigator. A 7-0 shutout win over the Chicago Cubs as we welcome you back inside Wrigley Field alongside Mark Gubicza, Erica Weston with you. That's more like it, Gooby.
Yes, Eric. I mean, everything from the pitching, the defense, the hitting, the timely hitting, using the whole field. But really the story was Tyler Anderson. He set the tone. When you're getting a chance to win a game, it really all set up there with the starting pitcher, and he was dominant. 10 punch-outs, 11 ground ball outs. Just two pitchers have done that this year. Singer with Kansas City. I mean, he was that good the entire game.
And a runner for the Cubs didn't get into scoring position until the 9th inning when Ben Joyce had the wild pitch. So impressive in so many ways. When you were in a zone like that, did you notice when you were in a zone?
Yeah, you don't even care how many runs you get. You feel like, okay, one run, I'm good enough. I just want to get back out there as quick as possible. And when he's throwing strikes like that, you could tell that, the way the infielders are especially on their toes. The outfielders, they could have taken the day off today.
I think they could have, certainly. The outfielders weren't involved much at all. But, Gooby, I asked him, the leadoff hit, then 13 in a row, retired. Just an absolute dominant performance against the Cubs.
Hey, Erica, just look at all these highlights. Every one of these pitches are on the edges or the shadow of the edges. Nothing in the heart of the plate. He did such a good job of mixing and matching. His 90-mile-an-hour fastball today looked like a Ben Joyce fastball for a while because his cutter was solid, but his changeup was so good as far as the swing and misses on there.
Well, let's take a look at the Google or the StatCast powered by Google Cloud, Gooby. Look at all of these strikeouts that he racked up today, 10. And he shared the wealth between the changeup and the four-seam.
And that's the thing, when he got strikeouts with his four-seam fastball, generally that's a show pitch for him to set up his cutter and his changeup, but to get 4 punch-outs with that pitch, it's pretty impressive.
It certainly was impressive, but that's what Ron Washington loves about him, right? You don't have to wow these guys with velocity. He just figures out a way to be efficient. 2 strikes, 2 outs, put them away, and end the inning.
Going way back to Tempe, I mean, Ron Washington was a huge fan of Tyler Anderson from the get-go. Everyone was like, after the season he had last year, now what he's doing right now could and should be, and also with his ERA at 2.81. So there's a lot of first pitch strikes. He faced 26 batters, 27 of them first pitch strikes. So that kind of performance gives you an opportunity to go out there and perform like that.
He certainly had a lot of the backing power from the offense, Scooby, with runners in scoring position for the Halos today. They were delivering, and for a while, how many innings did they score in? I think it was 6 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, this good swings, too. Not going, trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, although Joe Adell did went out of the ballpark. With runners in scoring position, they were just trying to make contact. And, that's a hard RBI there for Logan O'Hoppe. But he'll take it because he's a strong guy. But just putting the ball in play, not trying to pull the ball, going with the pitch, going to that big part of the field, you're going to have some success. even if you're not necessarily crushing those baseballs with high exit velocity, you're making contact and doing the little things to be able to put yourself in position to get the runners home, and that's what they did so well today.
So perhaps Johnny Washington was on to something, trying to help getting these guys ready to hit and ready to go, not doing show and go, getting out on the field early, Gooby, and trying to find what works.
And tracking the baseball. We have that batting practice today, even though, a lot of those hits were not squared up, but there was contact made to staying on the baseball, staying through the baseball, and making that contact.
Big Papa right here.
Oh, Big Papa, there he is.
He's ready to come out on the field. You can join us on the post-game show, Zach, if you want to.
We're talking about your tremendous RBI, that well-hit baseball you had, man. That was awesome.
Well done, Big Papa. Way to go get him. Runners in scoring position was big for the Halos today. Plenty of offense in this shutout victory. And moments ago, I spoke with Nolan Shawnoel, who scored the first run of the big outburst by the offense for the Halos this afternoon.
I think as a whole, we just came together and said we got to build better at bats. Everybody in the lineup had a hit today, which is awesome. Everybody contributed it, and I think just coming together before the game and just setting out a set plan for the pitcher, set plan for the bullpen, and we executed, which was awesome.
The offense has been doing a lot lately. It was kind of rare to see you guys not scoring a bunch the last handful of games or so. Did you find something today, getting back to the game plan you guys were used to?
Yeah, I think. We got ahead of ourselves this past series in Oakland. We were trying to do too much, and we just got to stick to doing our job, get on base for the guys behind us, and I think we executed it perfectly today.
You were busy over there at first base with TA on the mound, lots of ground ball outs. What'd you think of him today in those 8 innings?
Oh, he was on point. I mean, he comes out here every day and competes his butt off, and for him to give 110% every day is what we need. It fuels us even more. And for him to go out there, throw strikes, be competitive, it's all we can ask for.
Last one for you. How's the foot, the ankle, the running on the bases? Was there not enough coffee this morning? What's going on?
I think I had 2 left shoes on, so we're just going to leave it at that. Rough first couple innings, but fought through it.
All's well that ends well. Thanks for the time. Nice job.
Thank you, Erica. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Gooby, I hate it when the turf monster comes
By
up
the way, this
you.
is a family affair we have behind us right here. This is a lot of fun when you win a ball game. Everybody's family here in Chicago. What a job. I mean, Nolan Shawnoel, last 11 games, 6 multi-hit games, and I love his base running, too.
His base running. I know you guys were worried about leaving the bases loaded in the first inning, but it ended up to be okay, and now they can just give him a hard time for having a rough morning rounding those bases. Pretty cool. Yes, you can see it. Everybody's family is joined the party on the field. Holiday weekend at Wrigley Field. Stay with us. We've got more post-game reaction ahead. The Angels win big this afternoon. The offense coming alive from the ballpark. And Joe Adell, Gooby, he said what?
Hello.
That's right. He sure did to the Bleacher Creatures here at Wrigley Field. More reaction next on Angels Live.
Marcus Lynn Betts, best player on the planet.
I love watching Mookie play.
On the Hall of Fame highway.
It's a blessing to have those expectations.
Goodness. And that one is going to go. Mookie Betts, what a monster.
Got some more unfinished business to take care of.
Are you kidding me?
I try and do the best that I can in anything that I can control.
Nothing on a baseball field that Mookie Betts does not excel at.
Sunday, baseball cards take center stage on MLB's Carded. Join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard. From vintage to modern, we've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
It starts with kindness, reaching out a helping hand. Even the smallest gestures mean the world to a lot of people.
Stand up to cancer.
Together.
Together. Together.
Together.
Games presented by the OC Healthcare Agency. Navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. What a day in the friendly confines. It certainly was friendly for the Halos today, getting back in the win column, winning the second of 3 games here against the Chicago Cubs. Gooby, we know how talented Joe Adell is, and they're giving him an opportunity to showcase all of his skills, how hard he can crush the baseball, and he sent one way into the seats today.
Yeah, that was, what, 431, exit velocity of 110. We were talking about some of the hits earlier, not a whole lot of exit velocity, but Joe Adell goes, you know what? Here's some exit velocity, 110 plus, and he crushed that one. And it was it's a tradition here at Wrigley Field when you catch that and you throw it back. And that was pretty good throw back there, too. By the way, the band. That ball was crushed. It's great to see. 14th home run tying for the club lead, Joe Adell.
I want to know what KP said to him right there. That was a nice little moment.
You know what? I still keep thinking of that one. That's what makes Kevin Pillar so special. Same thing with Joe Adell. Embracing that moment for Kevin and Joe because that's not an easy thing to do. When you mentioned it earlier, less than 5% of all Major League players have ever get that 10 years into the Major Leagues, and Kevin Pillar did that, and how much of a relationship those two have is pretty good to see.
Maybe JoJo just said, hey, KP, for you, since you're not playing today, I'm going to put one in the seats to celebrate 10 years for you.
Way in the seats. Way in the seats.
Yeah, the whole bench turned around and said, what was the distance on that, E? Can you let me know? Very good to see for Joe, and perhaps it's something he can use as a slump buster, as can the rest of the team today.
Yeah, I just love what they were doing all game long. I mean, it's just a different team than what we saw really over the last 5 games in which they just simplify things and had good approaches at the plate.
So what were the keys, Scooby, to get that offense back and going?
First of all, I think what it came down to is they were seeing some more pitches. Remember, they were getting themselves out so early, and so they saw about 4 pitches per plate appearance before and during that stretch. They were about 3.44, so significant difference seeing their pitches and going with pitches to the middle part of the field. Think of the middle of the field. It allows you to let that baseball get a little bit deeper, and you see how many hits they had go middle or the opposite field. That means you have a lot of trust in your hands to be able to let that travel that far in there. Better chance to make adjustments on a fastball or a breaking ball.
And I love the confidence that it gave them today to be able to do that in this ballpark. Send it in the seats and hit it all over. Use the entire part of the field. Good stuff for the Angels today. A complete performance by the Halos this afternoon. Stay with us. More post-game reaction ahead as the Angels come out in impressive fashion in the friendly confines. Ben Joyce closing things out. A 7-0 victory over the Cubbies. More ahead on Angels Live.
Want to elevate game night? Turn on MLB Big Inning, a revolutionary way to see the biggest moments from every game live and commercial-free.
There it is! A 40-70 season!
Find MLB Big Inning on the MLB.tv home screen. Then watch baseball's mega stars in the moments that matter most. It's a whole new ball game when the action comes to you.
Game over!
MLB Big Inning on MLB Network and MLB.tv.
I've given up on trying to get rid of batting average. There's no beating it.
Brian Kenny's always thinking about baseball, and he's fired up for 2024.
These are the standards by which major leaguers are measured.
Watch the show for the thinking fan. MLB Now on MLB Network.
by the OC Healthcare Agency. Navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. Brilliant afternoon by Tyler Anderson. Oh, I love the wash hug every single time. 7-0 victory over the Cubbies as we take a look at the series probables for the finale. Gooby, Jose Soriano, and the Halos going for a chance at a series win here at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, with Messi, he's throwing the ball well for Chicago for the most part, but Soriano's a guy I really want to see perform like we saw up in Oakland the first 3 innings. That 4th inning, you know, he's got that pitch total up there a little bit. He was 65, he's going to get up to 85. Just think of all those ground balls that Tyler Anderson had today. Think that tomorrow if you're Soriano with that pitch, that sinker downstairs along with his knuckle curve.
Well, he was sitting there in the dugout watching TA go to work, and no doubt he wants to be dominant once again like he was back in Arizona two times ago after he missed that time.
Yeah, he could be a ground ball machine. Coming into that game against Oakland, he was almost 61% ground ball rate, a ton of double plays turned behind him. Just fell out of sorts there with a couple of his breakables. Don't go away from trust in his fastball. If he does, he should be successful against his Cubs lineup.
Let's hope it's a tough afternoon tomorrow for the Cubs facing Jose Soriano. For the time being, it was Tyler Anderson's day on the mound for the Halos. Time to head back inside the Angels clubhouse. Ron Washington addressing the Halos win and TA's day on the mound.
I don't know if that's as good as he can pitch, but he gave us what we needed today. I mean, he did a tremendous job. 8 innings. What he had, 10 Ks, 3 flyouts, and he said his 10 is 15. He got his 24 outs. So let me look at my notes here. 11 ground balls. 11 ground balls, 10 Ks, and 3 flyouts. I mean, that's about as good as it gets, really. It was like their lefty did yesterday. So we got to try to find the lefty to go at him tomorrow.
What do you think he was doing to be so effective out there?
He was aggressive. He changed speeds very well. And he was good at, he had a real good day of first pitch strikes. And he was good at making his off-speed stuff look good. When he needed to make it look good and go bad. So he was really in command today.
Do you believe he's an all-star candidate in your mind?
Yeah, he's our all-star. You know, he's one of ours. Our other all-star, I think, is hurt right now. So no, he's been the guy that's been doing a good job for us on that mound consistently. Even his games when he weren't very good, he kept sending.
What was the difference for your offense today, you think?
I think we just strung some hits together. You know, we got a lot of weak contact, but they ended up falling in. And it seemed like when we did put the barrel on the ball, they made plays. So we were smart today. We got a lot of weak contact that was out of the reach of everyone. And, that home run Adell hit wasn't weak, but no, we made contact today and we made things happen. And that's how we ended up putting 7 runs on the board.
You had some deeper counts today, too.
Yeah, real deep counts. And, I hope that was us and not those guys over there having trouble just trying to command the baseball. So we'll see where it goes tomorrow.
So BP tomorrow?
Yeah. Let's just go to show you. Sometimes as the skipper, you don't know what you're doing.
Thanks,
All right.
I love him. I think he knew what he was doing.
He's the best. I'll tell you what. That's the thing. You know what? You won this game. He's already thinking about how do we win the series tomorrow.
That would be great before the Halos head back home. Final thoughts, Gooby, a fun day for the Angels at Wrigley.
You know what? Tyler Anderson was great, but I love the approaches at the plate today, using that big part of the field, working some counts, and doing some damage. Everybody, all 9 guys.
Let's keep it rolling into the series finale tomorrow. For Mark Guters, I'm Erica Weston. Same time, same place, Sunday finale at Wrigley Field.